Good morning, everyone. My name is Brian. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Everybody like the video. We'll be on the air in just a minute.
Buy a set of Giza Dream Sheets, get a second set free. But you've got to use the promo code KANE.
That's right, you do.
KANE at mypillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879.
Here we go.
Is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll free.
Welcome, everyone.
FLA 3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now...
Yes. Welcome, everyone. Oh, man, my name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. We are on the air live Monday through Friday from 6 until 9 a.m., That's right. We broadcast live on 95.3 FM, 96.9 on the FM radio dial, AM 1470. You can watch us live stream on the YouTube, Brian Craig on YouTube. And, of course, listen to us on the iHeart Radio app, searching for us by our station call letters WWNN. 2 W's and 2 N's. WWNN. Well, we got a lot to talk about today. I want to talk about what happened last night with Dan Bongino and Geraldo on Hannity, and I want to take your calls on this. I do have the audio of the exchange, which I'll play in a bit, and I have some theories as to what is going on over there. But I got to tell you first, right here out of the box, how low-life liberals are. You know, the left, they've always accused the right of being all these terrible things, doing things to people. But it's them that do everything. And I want to tell you about just 2 petty things. One's not so petty, but one's in very bad taste. One's a little bit more than petty. 2 things that have happened just this very morning to me and to Steve Kane. Each of us have had an incident that will show you what type of people you're dealing with when you're dealing with Democrats, when you're dealing with liberals, when you're dealing with the tolerant progressives, whatever they want to call themselves. I'll tell you the one about Steve first. I just had gotten an email from a very nasty listener. You know, we're on the air overnights as well. There's an overnight rebroadcast of the show the morning before, and I get a lot of emails in the middle of the night from listeners, and I got one from a liberal listener this morning. Yesterday, Steve has had a family tragedy. He really just blurted it out because he was just dealing with it. One of his son-in-laws died this week in a tragic drowning accident. And this is a son-in-law of his daughter has multiple children with. So, this is a big family tragedy. And you can tell, listening to yesterday's show, how upset Steve is about it. You know, that was a rough show yesterday. And I got more details as to what had happened, which I'm not going to get into. But it's awful. It's a terrible situation. What happened? And I'm going through my emails this morning, and one guy, he says, I researched it, and it seems that Steve made it up. And I wrote him back. I usually don't email back trolls, but I did this one because I thought it was such a terrible thing. It was a little more detailed than that, but he accused Steve of lying and making the whole thing up. And I wrote him back. I said, sadly, it's true. And then he wrote me back another email, a long one for an email, with a bunch of other things. I mean, my goodness, the man just lost the father of some of his grandchildren. And you're sitting there at a keyboard. Pick up your damn phone and be a man and confront people. Sitting behind your computer like some pervert, emailing people sick, twisted things. This is how liberals are. And I had something that's been going on with me, okay, this week. And I found out that I've been getting sabotaged by liberals. I've been a little off this week. And I was telling you, last week I went to Any Lab Test Now of Boca just to get my COVID antibody test. And just while I was there, I had them run a couple other tests, and I found out something that I'm not telling you about. And I've seen a doctor, and I'm on some prescription medications, which I don't take prescription medications unless, I really, really have to. So I'm taking a couple prescription medications, and I've been having some issues this week. And I thought it was side effects of the medication. And I was talking to my wife yesterday because I was really off yesterday, and I said, I don't know, I think I got to talk to the doctor and get a new medication, because these side effects, I can't function like this every day forever. I can do it for a week until they wear off, and it's not getting any better. And my wife said to me, she says, I betcha that at the Starbucks you're going to, they're giving you decaf because of your Trump shirts. And I said, no way. I've been going to the same Starbucks for about a year. And then this morning I woke up and I was thinking about, my wife's always right, typically, usually she's right. And I said, I'm wearing a Trump shirt right now, and I had this shirt on. And I was just about to leave the house, and I said, maybe she's right. So what I did was I took off the Trump shirt, and I have a Def Leppard shirt on that I actually have on underneath this Trump shirt I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing a shirt that says Trust Trump, which is very good advice. Always trust Trump. And I went to another Starbucks, and I ordered what I order every day. At the Starbucks I've been going to for a year, they do have some new, young, millennial, Gen Z, whatever they call them, people working there, that tend to go. So I went to another Starbucks and got the same thing that I always get, and I feel fine today. So the only conclusion to this somewhat scientific experiment, not a complete scientific experiment, is that these liberal baristas have been giving me decaf coffee in the mornings because I'm wearing Trump shirts. And they probably giggle about it amongst themselves after I drive away. This is how Democrats are, people. This is how they are. Republicans don't behave this way. We're decent people. I tell you, this keyboard warrior with the email, this liberal new barista, so now I got to go out of my way to go to Starbucks in the morning, messing up my whole morning. But this is how they are, people, and this is what we have to deal with as conservatives. They claim that we're the hate mongers, but they're the ones always acting out. Yeah. So I'm probably, what I'm going to have to do is wear a different shirt out of the house to get my coffee in the morning and change. That's just something else, isn't it? What are you going to do? This is how the left are. All right, our number's toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Well, let me take a call or two, and then I'm going to get into this Dan Bongino, Geraldo, Hannity thing, because I have some theories on this. Good morning. Yeah, you're on the air. What's on your mind?
Oh, man, where do I start? There's 1,000 things that we could have talked about, Brian. And we got to talk about the fake Cuomo brothers. Bongino and Geraldo.
Uh-huh.
I'm so tired of hearing them. It's all a publicity stunt. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
And also, why, Brian, am I still blocked on Marco?
Because you make like kind of drunken videos all the time, weird rants all day and night. That's why. No, it was several times. It was several times because you're making these drunken, intoxicated rants on video from hotel rooms in the middle of the night, and that's why. All right? Did I answer your question? All right, I answered his question. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. I tell you, these people. This is what you've got to deal with. No, there's something going on here with Bongino. And by the way, if this is you calling, let me take this call again. And if it's the same guy, you're going to be on hiatus. Yeah, good morning. Oh, that's nice, yes. That's why we're on delay. That's why we're on delay. Little F-bomb there. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Guy said that I blanking, using the F word, suck. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But at least I get paid to do whichever I'm doing. Do I suck? Do I not suck? I get paid very well to do it no matter what. So, you know, that's cool with me. All right, so there's definitely something there's definitely something going on over there at Fox News Channel. And I have a theory on it. And I'm going to take our first break, come back, and get into the whole thing, including playing the audio of the exchange with Bongino and Geraldo. Because this is not a publicity stunt going on. There's something devious going on, in my opinion, and I'll share with you what it is after the break. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Our number's toll free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back after this.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. I have the MyPillow slippers and Mike Lindell.
Steve Kane Show.
Right, these are the...
Yeah.
K-A-N-E. One of our listeners called in on the air and told us about his experience with the MyPillow My Slippers.
Brian, I have the MyPillow slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic slippers.
Really? Which ones do you have? Which style do you have?
The fur-lined.
Maybe
one.
it
The
was
slip-on fur-lined ones?
Yeah,
not
inside,
decaf.
outside.
Maybe
What is neuropathy and what are the symptoms?
Maybe, you never know.
Nerves in your feet
I've been off all
are going
week.
bad,
Yeah.
and
It's been really bad.
It affects your balance. And,
They could have been, you never know.
So you're
Little roof and all.
My slippers, which by the way, 40% off.
Well, they got this. They hired these new girls there, and the one making the coffee, she's got like blue hair, and she dresses like she's a Japanese anime character, but she weighs about 200 pounds. You know, so they're pretty left wing. And the other girl is
That mattress topper is unbelievable, isn't it?
gay as gay could be. You know.
Oh man, I know they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by the way, when you use the promo code Kane at checkout, 40% off the MyPillow slippers.
It's
30%
possible.
off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with it. So it's great. Well, that's awesome. Order your MyPillow My Slippers 40% off with the promo code Kane at checkout. K-A-N-E.
See, I'm very accessible. You know.
Or call
I am the most accessible person on YouTube and in radio.
1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van. At the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just
It's going better.
$75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges.
You're right, Slick Pickles. I know.
Good used tires.
I know.
Starting at just $30 for most
They could be.
cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike.
You never know.
Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price.
You would never find out such a thing. How would you prove it?
954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, guys, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. See, can't you tell I feel better already? Yeah. See, this is scientific proof here that something was going on. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. So Geraldo and Bongino had a meltdown yesterday on, I should say Geraldo did. They were on Hannity last night. This is I think maybe the third time this has happened. They're never in the same studio. Dan Bongino is cool as a cucumber, and Geraldo has a complete epic meltdown, being a liberal and all. And Hannity's just there allowing it to happen. And this one got really nasty. I've got the whole exchange, which I'll play in a bit, but let me just play you a shortened version of it. This is Bongino and Geraldo last night. Geraldo actually threw paper, balled up paper at the camera.
You're nothing but a name caller. You're a cheap shot artist.
Geraldo,
Steve
you
Kane
gotta
Show.
let him have his say. You had your say.
You just want to see the country burn.
Oh,
That's it. I want to see the country burn. You son of a... I want to see the
making a
country
race
burn, you
war out
punk.
of it.
You're nothing but a punk.
Yeah.
You're a punk, Bongino. You're a punk.
You wouldn't tell me that to my face.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal stuff there. That's just a little clip. I got the whole exchange, which we'll play in a little bit. Okay. There's a couple things in play here, and this is what I think is going on. I think Hannity is trying to get Geraldo to quit Fox News Channel. I think Hannity wants Geraldo out. And I know a lot of people will say, well, Geraldo's no threat to Hannity. Hannity is petty. He got Alan Combs fired from that show. It used to be Hannity and Combs, and then it became Hannity, and then Alan Combs became just a pundit, and then he's passed away since, Alan Combs. But he did he got Alan Combs fired and took over the show for himself. So that shows some pettiness on Geraldo's part. And while Geraldo may not be a threat to Hannity, there seems to be something in play here where they're trying to get rid of Hannity. And this is what I'll throw this out to you guys to give me your thoughts on this. Dan Bongino is about to get elevated to a level, to just a supreme level. While Dan Bongino has not been hired by the EIB network as the new Rush replacement, he is being syndicated on a whole bunch of radio stations across the country by a syndicator on radio stations in Rush Limbaugh's time slot, noon to 3. And this show is going to be a big, big show in markets that it's on. His first guest, I read yesterday, is going to be President Trump. Is going to launch the show with President Trump as a guest. There's no way, as petty as Sean Hannity can be, that Hannity does not have some jealousy and some insecurities about Bongino. And, because with Rush's passing, Hannity probably saw himself as the new number one in talk radio. But it hasn't happened that way. It looks like Dan Bongino is going to be, even though Bongino has not been hired by the EIB, and he's as to be Rush's replacement, it's being billed that he is Rush's replacement. So the perception is that Dan Bongino is Rush's replacement. Now listen, that was not my pick. I do like Dan Bongino a lot. I listen to his podcast. It's very, very good. And I think he does fine. I like him. I had some other picks, but that's fine. Dan Bongino was on the list. This wasn't number one on my list. I like Bongino. Nothing against Bongino. But Hannity has got to be very, very paranoid. There have been multiple attempts to get rid of him at Fox. He's being monitored. They came up with fake allegations and things like this. And Dan Bongino is being promoted by Fox and others as the Rush Limbaugh replacement, which is elevating Bongino maybe even higher than Hannity in many circles. Fox News has given Bongino a Saturday night show in the old Gray Gutfeld time slot. because Gutfeld has his weeknight show, which I've seen a couple episodes of now, and it's very, very good. Gutfeld is awesome on that show, and it's amazing. He's been beating these network late-night shows a few times, from what I understand. And he's very good. And his comedy segments are very good, too. So I think Hannity, who's very petty, very paranoid, and jealous of Bongino, is befriending Bongino to screw him over down the road. That's what I think. I think he's afraid. Hannity very well may be thinking they may be grooming Bongino to replace him. You know, he's not top dog over there at Fox News. Tucker Carlson is. And Bongino has kind of come out of nowhere and been elevated to the top of the talk radio business hierarchy by getting this new gig. So I'll throw that out to you guys. What do you think is going on here? That's what I think. You know, anytime you're talking about entertainment, which television and radio is, there's egos and pettiness off the air. That's just the way it is, and it can get very nasty with people. You know, Steve and I worked together a long time, and we don't have those issues, which is very unusual in this business. I mean, it's very unusual. I don't know why we don't, but we just don't. You know, we just don't. That doesn't mean we always agree, you know. And when you work with somebody for this long all the time, we may get on each other's nerves and get aggravated with one another from time to time. That's for sure. But we don't have those kind of petty issues. Over there at Fox News Channel, there's a lot of division over there. There's a lot of division between the news division and the opinion people at night. There's a lot of pettiness. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of backstabbing at Fox News Channel. And anytime some new kid on the block comes in and gets elevated like Bongino is, it's going to cause problems. And this happened when Glenn Beck, Glenn Beck, he rose faster in radio and television than I'd seen anyone. When he went over to Fox, he had that 5 o'clock show. His radio show and television show were tops in the ratings. It was taking America by storm. Everyone was talking about it. Remember that event Glenn Beck did in 2010 at the Lincoln Memorial? It was amazing. I've never seen anyone in this business do that. And then his star fell pretty fast. And no one was happier than Hannity when that happened, because when Glenn Beck came over to Fox News, you know, his radio show exploded, the TV show, even though it wasn't on in prime time, exploded. It's what everyone was talking about. It put Hannity in the back seat, made him seem kind of vanilla and boring. And I think he's seen shades of Glenn Beck in the rise of Bongino, and this has a lot to do with this incident last night. But I'd like to hear what you guys think. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's a toll-free call, 1-888-465-2631. Good morning. Yes. Oh, here we go. It's going to be one of those days, people. Once, twice. All right. Good morning. You're on the air. Yes. Hey, Paris, Texas. What's on your mind?
Hey, I know you think that I don't like your show or I don't like Steve, but I don't know if you realize it, but you just put yourself in legal jeopardy by saying that about Starbucks.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't put myself in any jeopardy. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. This is one of those days. Steve's taking off today because he's dealing with what's going on with the family. And I feel like I should have taken advantage of that, too. We're going to be off on Memorial Day, which is, a week from Monday? I should have taken today off, too. Because every call I've taken today, been on the air, not even quite 30 minutes yet, every call I've taken today is worse than the call before. Good morning. Hey, Mike in Louisiana. Maybe you can elevate the quality of calls. You're like the 4th or 5th call I've taken, and every call this morning has just been a train wreck of a call.
Well, think about this, okay? And this was a few years back, but he was Glenn Beck was talking about getting all the that a lot of the people in radio don't, Rush and him and Hannity and Levin and stuff like that don't get along and don't hang out with each other. And he was trying to get everybody together in terms of that. But here's something else to think about Bongino. I read somewhere that Bongino is going to get a weekend show on Fox.
Yeah, that's right. He's in Gutfeld's old time slot, because Gutfeld's doing the weeknight show. He's giving up Saturdays, and Bongino's in that slot. Probably, giving him some training to expand at other times.
Right, and here's the deal: if Hannity is going to be 60 soon, probably. Or he's in his 50s. Bongino's in his late 40s right now. Tucker Carlson's a young man. If Bongino has a rapid rise and does really, really well in that Saturday spot, it could be a point of Hannity's petty, and he has a right to be petty because it comes out of fear.
Yeah.
Bongino is going to have that rapid rise, and he could be out.
Well, that may not be. I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but what I'm telling you is people that work in radio and television are extremely paranoid. And when someone new comes on the scene and gets elevated to, like if you're in Hannity's spot and Bongino, who is just kind of like a fringe pundit, all of a sudden is getting this radio show syndicated, which may even eclipse yours in the ratings, okay? And he could become the radio show of record and syndicated radio and all these things. Someone like Hannity starts to get very paranoid. It doesn't have to be that it's going to happen. It's just that people are insecure and paranoid in radio and television. Tim, $5 super chat. Thank you.
Here's something else to think about. I think at one point they were looking at Hannity to move into Rush Limbaugh's spot, and Hannity said no.
Well, Hannity's time slot, afternoon drive, is more prime time than noon to 3. It's more prime, and he's got deals everywhere. So I understand he couldn't move to that slot. It would almost be a downgrade in some ways. But there's no way Hannity is happy about the rise of Bongino. There's just no way.
There's just no way. I don't know if it ran into the same thing. If it's running into the same thing with Tucker Carlson, because Tucker Carlson just keeps on rising, and we know Hannity is paranoid and petty.
Yeah.
If Tucker keeps rising like that, then what's going to happen with Tucker?
That's right. Well, all right, that's true. All right, Mike in Louisiana. All right, listen, it's 31 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. Your thoughts on what's going on over there certainly are welcome. And I got a couple of things I want to jump into after the break, too. But you're free to call in on anything I brought up thus far as I bring up new topics. Let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. 31 minutes after, I'm going to give out the number and put out a call for thinking people to call in. I don't want to talk to drunk people unless you're coherently drunk. And I don't know. We need to elevate the quality of the caller a little bit. Mike in Louisiana is the beginning. Oh, I just heard some sirens out the window. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Is that the thought police? 888-465-2631. Let's take that break and we'll be right back. All right, guys? Take care. We'll be back.
FM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Sole Authority. At the Sole Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic
I do definitely feel that this coffee is stronger than what I was drinking.
High-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop
Steve Kane Show.
problems before they begin.
Yep, hold on.
Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Now that things are opening up again, employers are hiring. Need a drug test before your job interview? Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs and get tested. No doctor's order needed. No appointment necessary. Just walk right in. No insurance? No problem. Because they offer the lowest prices on all their thousands of lab tests. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro, on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
Hey guys, we're back. I'm Brian. 35 minutes after the, or actually 34 minutes after the hour. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's our number. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, good morning, Lewis.
Hey, Lewis. What's up?
Hey, how you doing? Just wanted to add to the dialogue, hopefully some intelligent stuff that he needs.
Yes. Well, you're on, so go ahead. Let's hear your dialogue.
Hey, good morning. How you doing, guys?
I'm doing all right.
Pembroke Pines, Florida. And anyway, yeah, basically, listen, last night I saw the Hannity show. I was a big fan of his back on the beginning, and I understand the paranoia impediments. I've seen his personality kind of evolve. And I think people like Hannity, much like a lot of us in the workforce, can't handle when other people are successful or beyond them and they're just grabbing the attention and the limelight. And Hannity needs to get beyond that. But last night I saw Dan Bongino do he was a guest, of course, with Geraldo Rivera, talking about the Israelis.
Yep.
There. And Dan Bongino just slaughtered Geraldo. I mean, he just took the reins and took control of it.
Well, Geraldo was on Fox all day long taking the side of Hamas in this war. And, you know, Geraldo, many of you know, but most of you probably don't because you just assume he's Hispanic, but he's a Jew. He's a Jewish Puerto Rican. So you have a Jewish Puerto Rican siding with Hamas in this Israeli conflict. What do you think that's all about?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, this is how the Holocaust happened. It's how the Holocaust... You know, what I think it is with Geraldo is he's an old New York liberal, and liberals have always been against Israel. Even Jewish liberals from New York always are on the side of Israel's enemies. I don't quite understand it. They view the Palestinians as victims and the Israelis as oppressors, I guess. I don't know.
But you know, the point of the matter is, getting back to Dan, I mean, he just took control of that in a way that I was just so impressed, as I always am with that gentleman. And I'm a big fan of Dan. I think he's going to rise, and I'll watch him over.
Well, what Dan Bongino did last night I tell this to people sometimes, and the reason that Geraldo looked like a lunatic and Dan Bongino won the debate isn't because Dan Bongino was right. He was right. But he didn't lose his cool. Geraldo got hysterically angry. And whenever you get angry, when you're really angry, it's like you're intoxicated. You lose control of your thoughts, your mind, and you always... If I got angry at one of these lunatic callers I have, really angry, they would come out on top, and I would look like an idiot. So Geraldo lost his cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, I just want.
Well, appreciate the call. Pembroke Pines, calling from Pembroke Pines. Yeah, and that's a rule of debate, especially radio and television, but in your personal life too. Whenever you lose your cool like that, you always lose. Now, this is something, I put this video up on my YouTube channel, Brian Craig on YouTube. When I first heard this story yesterday about Joe Biden, I'm like, this can't be real. I heard about this during the show yesterday, towards the end of the show, and I couldn't, because we were on the air, and at the end of the show is very busy, I couldn't go and watch the video. And I did after the show, and I was so shocked by it, I made my own YouTube video. It's on my YouTube channel. Okay, now everyone has seen the video of Biden driving the electric Ford F-150. The one where all day long yesterday they played the joke, the very bad joke about him running the reporter over. But did you catch what was happening there? When you first see that video, you miss what really happened. And here's the thing. I'll cut to the chase, then explain it to you. Joe Biden was not driving that pickup truck. Joe Biden was pretending to drive that truck. Go to my YouTube channel, watch the video. When I first saw this yesterday, okay, the truck is coming towards the press like a bat out of hell, like 70, 80 miles an hour. And I even said yesterday, I said that poor Secret Service man must have drawn the short straw. He must be scared out of his mind having this old cognitively declining man behind the wheel at a high rate of speed. And those reporters, I'd be terrified if Biden was driving a big old truck like that fast coming towards me. And he pulled up right next to them, made the joke about running over the reporter, and then sped off fast. What I'm about to share with you, you can on my YouTube video, you can see this. It's in slow motion. And there's also photographs there that you can see. The press saw everything because they were standing there and saw this with their own eyes, and not one of them reported it. Joe Biden was not driving that truck. He was pretending to drive it. There's a steering wheel on the passenger side of the vehicle, of the truck. The Secret Service man is driving. In fact, when you look at it in slow motion and the truck pulls up and you zoom in, you see the Secret Service man's hand on the wheel. He had one hand on the wheel. And after Biden tells the joke about running the reporter over, Biden turns the steering wheel all the way to the right and the truck speeds off. But when the camera pulls back, and you can only see this in slow motion, because when it happens fast, you miss it, Biden takes the steering wheel, turns it all the way to the right, and the truck speeds off. In slow motion, you can see that even after Biden turned, and you can see the Secret Service man's hand on the passenger side steering wheel, after Biden has turned the wheel all the way to the right, the tires on the truck, you can see the tires on the road on the truck are straight. And the truck speeds off straight too, which is even more evidence, and that's the definitive proof, that the Secret Service man is driving the pickup truck, not Biden. Every member of the press corps that was there saw this. None of them reported it. Have you seen this on television? I have not. Has it been on Fox yet? So, you know, when I was in high school, I took driver's ed. And we had cars that had two brakes on them, not two steering wheels, where there was like a brake on the passenger side. And I have seen cars for driver's education that have two steering wheels like this. This is something that has happened. This is not a totally unusual thing in certain circumstances. But what happened here? How did this happen? Why did it happen? Biden pretending to drive. My thoughts on it, they're obsessed with making Biden look fit, filled with energy, able to do all the things that somebody in that position can do, but obviously they don't trust him to drive, at least not in a cool high rate of speed like that was. So The press saw that he was pretending to drive. Why did they not report it? They're covering for the guy. When did they set this fake steering wheel up? Who made the decision? What else is Biden pretending to do? This is a pretty serious matter. Could you imagine if any other president, especially Trump, but any other president pulled a stunt like that? When I first heard it, I couldn't believe it either until I went and saw the video and the photographs. And even then, I wasn't 100% sure until I saw Biden turn the wheel all the way to the right and the tires were still straight, which shows that his steering wheel was not even connected. So I imagine this was set up by the White House to make him look cool, to make him look full of energy, to make him look with it, to make him look like he's got energy. And nothing could be further from the truth. Never seen something like this. And for the press to cover this up is frightening to me, because everyone there, with their own eyes, they saw up close what I'm describing to you. And still, I've not seen it on television. If you've seen it on television, please let me know. But I've not seen it on television. If that were Trump, it would be breaking news at the top and bottom of every hour. And you know what? It should be, because I'd be like, why? Was Jen Psaki asked about it yesterday? Will she be asked about it today? I hope Peter Doocy asks her about it. Sometimes Peter Doocy will surprise you. Maybe Emerald Robinson from Newsmax TV will get a question to Jen Psaki and ask about it. But it's a pretty big story, because he's, as scary as this is, Biden's the president of the United States. It's hard to say that. And he pulled off a deception to the American people that the press went along with by pretending to drive this truck. All right, let's take our last break of the first hour of today's program. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors, focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Hurricane season is right around the corner. This gives us only a short period of time to make sure your roof and home is ready for the 2021 hurricane season. So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find our latest video and live testimonials from a few of our past clients. Our number again is 954-604-4602.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
Yeah, guys, and I got to tell you, Laporta Contracting, you want to call Tom Laporta over there, have him do an inspection of your roof. Man, rainy season's begun. It's been raining. It was raining this morning early. pretty hard. And I noticed even now, as I'm looking out of the window, and I noticed this driving in today, the winds, oh man, the winds are heavy today, aren't they? Yeah, I know. It's you can tell we're in the rainy season, which also means hurricane season, just less than 2 weeks away. Listen, call Tom Laporta. He'll do a free inspection of your roof. His number, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602, and online, LaportaContracting.com. All right, well, let me play this exchange with Geraldo and Bongino we've been talking about. They're talking about Israel, and of course, Bongino is supporting the side of Israel, and Geraldo is supporting Hamas, which he was doing all day on Fox, and it gets really nasty. Here we go.
Dan, Geraldo, you do this every time. This is such garbage, and I'm really getting sick of it. You play this emotional game with the audience and use your position of responsibility to put out misinformation and BS. You did it on the police thing.
Address the issue. Do you have the guts to address the issue and not address it? This is not about me. You didn't come on this show to attack me.
I love it.
The show to talk about the issue.
Because again,
do you have a point about the issue?
Using your position of authority.
I'm sick of you, Bongino. I'm sick of you.
Okay. Now, Geraldo, who's lost it, you can hear he's crumpling up paper, and then he tosses it at the camera, and it hits the lens. And Geraldo's just, I mean, he's hysterical like a woman here.
That are absolutely outrageous.
Geraldo,
You're
let him talk.
Uncontrolled lunatic.
Geraldo,
I'm sorry.
let him talk.
Yeah.
Can't go on the air.
I'm an out of control
Can you calm
lunatic.
down? Yeah, you really
I'm a
need to calm
10-time
down.
Emmy winner
Maybe
with
try
deep
a
experience
meditation
in the
now
Middle
for
East.
psychiatry.
Oh, my goodness. Here comes the resume. 10 Emmys, deep experience in the Middle East.
Even been there?
I want to make
been
my
there?
point, Sean.
I've covered every war since
I want to make my point when he
1973.
stops talking.
Geraldo,
When he stops talking, I do have a point.
If your
Okay,
point is
thank
about
you.
me,
I
I'm not going to
appreciate
stop. If your point's going to be about me, I'm not going to stop.
Geraldo Rivera does not understand that Hamas doesn't believe in Israel's right to exist. Hamas wants the Jews dead. And what does he do? The same thing with the police issue. He makes this an emotional thing, and he says, the Palestinian children. Of course we care about Palestinian children. You know the way we save Palestinian children? We incentivize the terror group Hamas to not fire rockets indiscriminately into Israel. And it would stop immediately. Your debate you are so misinformed on this. It's pathetic. It's a bloodthirsty, savage
Let me
terror
calm the
group.
waters here. Let me calm the waters here.
No, here comes Hannity.
Who started firing the rocket?
Here we go.
Who's firing them?
Where do you want to go? You want to go back to
1948,
1967?
Oh man! So see, Geraldo, who's obviously a self-hating Jew, he's blaming Israel for the attacks on the unprovoked attack on Israel last week. He's blaming Israel for it. See, this is how the Holocaust happened. People like Geraldo making excuses and blaming the Jews.
You want to go back to the 48 peace partition, the 67-73 war, and yes, I've been to Israel. I've been to you know what? I've been to the border with Gaza.
I've covered every war since 1973 until 2012.
Kids can't play
Iron Dome
in an outdoor playground because they can't get in a bunker. They play in indoor bunker playgrounds. I've seen the rockets, 10,000 in one city in 10 years.
A Palestinian life is
though.
Exactly equal to an Israeli life or an American life.
Who do you blame for firing the rockets first?
Yeah.
Who do you blame for
Good question, Hannity.
populated areas and hospitals and schools?
This current chapter of this ongoing violence started when he's
blaming the Jews again. Geraldo's a Jew. He's blaming the Jews. He's blaming the Israelis for the attack on them by Hamas.
Cops raided the Aqsa Mosque in the old city of Jerusalem.
Get out of it.
Wow.
You're just lying.
It is one of the most sacred places.
You don't know what you're talking about.
It is one of the most sacred places in the Listen to this guy. This guy doesn't. Have you ever been? Have you been at war?
I've been there many times.
Have you?
I'm showing video of me there.
No, but you haven't either. That's the interesting thing.
Bongino.
I've been there multiple times. That tunnel right there, that was built with Israeli and American money and cement, and that cement was meant for hospitals and schools, guys. That cement right there. 60 feet underground tunnels so that these terrorists can sneak in the dark of the night and kill Israelis
Why
and commit acts
don't
of
you
terror.
ever show the dead Palestinians?
Wow.
Show the video of the dead Palestinians.
Because if I ever step foot in Gaza, I'd be dead.
They don't count. It's like they don't exist.
You don't even understand the history.
Palestinian children are being killed and they don't exist.
Geraldo,
you
don't even understand your own history. Geraldo, who controlled that Palestinian area from 48 to 67?
Wow. I mean, Geraldo, at least 3 times, he blamed Israel for the unprovoked attack on them. Every time he went to it, he blamed Israel for the unprovoked attack. And he's a Jew. Pretty scary stuff. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. What's your name?
My name is Maria.
Oh, hey, Maria. How you doing? Hey.
I woke up not too long ago. I've been having problems because I had my knee replacement. I've been going to physical therapy.
Oh, no.
Try to get up. I try to get up and get rid of it.
So what do you have? You have like a plastic knee now?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
But I've been dealing with that for about 2 months now. And stuff. So, with this guy in the White House, I had to wait almost a month before I can get physical therapy because he's messing up all the programs.
Yeah.
I was watching Sean Hannity last night, and I was literally about to fall out my bed laughing.
Well, yeah.
He's awful. I don't know what his history or what he know about Jews and.
Well, he is a Jew. He's a Puerto Rican Jew.
I mean, he is, and it's so obvious what he does. He uses children all the time to make it like it's, oh, we gotta make sure we protect the children. Yeah, you gotta protect the children, but you just can't go in somebody's territory and bomb somebody's territory and hide and run up on a bomb.
Well, what Geraldo is doing, he's talking like Talib. Is what he's doing, and Ilhan Omar.
Yeah, it's obvious. I don't believe that Dan Bongino will officially attack him, but it's obvious what he's doing, and Dan Bongino is not having it at all.
Well, Dan Bongino knows how to handle Geraldo. I would ask Geraldo to look for the answers to the peace process in Al Capone's vault. That would really set him off, because that's a sore spot with Geraldo.
He won't be able to handle it. He'll be going crazy like he's doing now. But I think Fox News have to make a decision. Get the guy off of there. The guy is just unhinged. Let him go on CNN and go all crazy because he have.
Oh yeah, he'd fit in over at CNN. Maybe Al Jazeera could hire Geraldo. He'd do good over there too. He could be a pundit on Al Jazeera.
Okay.
All right. Take care. Yeah, they'd love him over there. Good morning. You're on the radio.
This is Jerry over here in St. Pete.
Hey, Jerry. What's up?
Hey, do you remember way back when we were in Afghanistan and Geraldo was over there?
Yeah, he got into some trouble reporting that he was in a place that he wasn't at. Yeah, I can't remember the details of it.
He had our own men wanting to shoot that guy based on all the positions we were in.
He did. I'll look it up during the break because I remember my recollection is he claimed to be somewhere, reporting from somewhere that he wasn't, but I can't remember the details. It's been like 20 years.
Oh yeah. Well, I know you were a young lad back then.
Well, I wasn't all that young, but I remember it.
Yeah, and
okay, here it is. I just found it. Okay. In 2001, during the war in Afghanistan, Geraldo was criticized for a report in which he claimed to be at the scene of a friendly fire incident. It was later revealed he was actually 300 miles away. Geraldo blamed a minor misunderstanding for the discrepancy. Wow. And here's the one you're talking about. So he lied in a report. Here's the one you're talking about. Which I don't remember this one. This one's new to me. Listen to this one. This is what you were referencing. Controversy arose in early 2003 while Geraldo was traveling with the 101st Airborne Division in Iraq. During a Fox News broadcast, Geraldo began to disclose an upcoming operation, even going so far as to draw a map in the sand for his audience. The military immediately issued a firm denunciation of Geraldo's actions, saying he put the operation at risk. Geraldo was expelled from Iraq. 2 days later, he announced that he would be reporting on the Iraq conflict from Kuwait. Wow.
He had our own men wanting to shoot him.
Well, Bongino should remind Geraldo of this time when he gave, classified intel on an upcoming military operation on TV and even drew a map for the enemy. That's good job, Geraldo. He's a clown. He's a clown.
I hope.
Steve years ago was good friends with Geraldo.
Geraldo was just trying to make a name for himself. You understand that?
Well, hasn't he already done that? How many people are known by one name? He's very famous. But what's happening here with this? Listen, he had that embarrassing moment with the vault, and he's had a couple of scandals. But he's very famous. Everybody likes her, and this thing with Bongino and Hannity, he's going to end his career looking like a clown.
Yep. Something to you.
Okay.
Them slippers.
The My Pillow, My Slippers. Yeah, I wear them all the time. K-A-N-E, great.
Have really bad feet. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they're going to help.
Well, I'm not a diabetic. I just have regular old white boy feet. But I got to tell you, when I put those My Pillow, My Slippers on, I have the moccasin ones. And I mean, they felt like I had it's the most comfortable thing. I didn't wear them today because it's raining here in Florida, and I didn't want to get them wet. So I wore an old pair of shoes today because I didn't want to walk through the puddles with them. But they're good for indoors and outdoors. I wear them around. I wear them outside. I wear them inside, and they're very comfortable. The My Pillow, My Slippers. Yeah.
Trump closed to I missed that whole part of it.
Well, you can go back on YouTube and watch the beginning of the show.
I am on YouTube.
Well, you rewind it to the beginning. Rewind it. If you miss any part of the show, you can rewind it.
I know. I just thought you'd remind me, but that's.
Well, no, I can't do the whole segment again. But if it's right in the beginning of the show, all right. Hey, listen, I got a break. It's 7:00 in the morning. Oh man, I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Have you gone without insurance through the Affordable Care Act because you thought you couldn't afford it? The times are changing. I have exciting news to share with you from I Will Advisors. With the signing of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, the government has increased the subsidies available to people buying insurance through the marketplace. In fact, even people making over 400% of the federal poverty level can get insurance now and not pay more than 8.5% of their income. There's talk of people currently paying less than $100 per month, and you could possibly pay $0 per month with these new changes. It doesn't cost anything to check, but everyone must take action. The special election period will end, but the sooner you take action,
Steve Kane Show.
you can start saving money. Call
Hold on.
at I Will Advisors 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. Hey guys, Brian Craig here. I have the MyPillow slippers at Mike Lindell. He's right. These are the most comfortable slippers I've ever worn. And you can get them for 40% off at MyPillow.com with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. One of our listeners called in on the air and told us about his experience with the MyPillow My Slippers.
Brian, I have the MyPillow slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic slippers.
Really? Which ones do you have? Which style do you have?
The fur-lined one.
Oh, the slip-on fur-lined ones?
Yeah, inside, outside.
What is neuropathy and what are the symptoms?
Well,
wow.
The nerves in your feet start going bad, and it affects your balance. And
I got there's a news story on Matt Gates. I tell you, these low lives.
40% off with the promo code KANE.
I'll get to it in a bit.
And it's helped with your neuropathy.
Yes, it is. It's much. I have to wear slippers at home. I can't go barefoot or even with socks on.
Wow.
So I have to wear that. And I also have the MyPillow pillow and the MyPillow mattress topper and the.
That mattress topper is unbelievable, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh,
my
man.
wife loves it.
Oh, man. I know, they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by the way, when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, 40% off the MyPillow slippers, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with it. So it's great. Well, that's awesome. Order your MyPillow My Slippers 40% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
This is Dr. Matez from the Biostation West Delray. The Biostation is
Make sure everybody you like the video, all right?
Due to the extensive array of options available. At the Biostation, we take your health seriously. Our men's health program is doctor supervised with multiple options to treat erectile dysfunction and low testosterone. Erectile dysfunction may be a sign of a more serious issue, and our medical team can help you get to the root cause. Let us help you get to the source of the issues that are holding you back from leading a fulfilling life. If any degree of erectile dysfunction is holding you back, call me immediately at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE 1. And now.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 2 has begun. My name is Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. That's right. And before I bring up anything new, let's take some more calls. Feel free to comment on anything I brought up in the first hour, and I'll be bringing up new things as the discussion continues. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hi, this is Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Joellen, what's up?
I was watching Bongino and Geraldo. It was May 6th show. And I was at my sister's, I said, something is wrong with that Geraldo. I mean, it's like he's having cognitive issues, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh my God, that's weird. And then I spoke with my girlfriend and we were talking about it. So I don't know if anybody else has noticed that. He just seems...
Well, this is what's going on with Geraldo, okay? And I, in all fairness, I like Geraldo. I don't agree with his politics. I grew up with Geraldo. You know what I mean? So it's hard, to hate on Geraldo, but what Geraldo was a big star in the 80s, big star, and he isn't the big star anymore. And when what Geraldo was accustomed to, he's kind of like a has-been. And what Geraldo is accustomed to is when he gives an opinion, when he utters an opinion, people listening to him and not questioning him, typical celebrity thing. And he is being challenged, and he's never been challenged before, and he's having a meltdown. He's like Juan Williams. He's worse than Juan Williams. Why do you think Geraldo, who is a Jew, is siding with Hamas in this conflict?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean,
he's on the side of Ilhan Omar here. of Tlaib.
Yeah, which is really, disgusting.
Yeah, they should. You know who Bongino should have on Bongino's first show? He's having President Trump on. On his second show, he should have Bette Midler on and talk about Geraldo. And you guys can Google that. Google what Bette Midler said about Geraldo when his book came out back in the late 80s, early 90s. That would flip out Geraldo. All right, take care, Joe Ellen in Fort Lauderdale. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hi, good morning. Brian, this is John in Wellington.
Hey, what's up, John?
First of all, I'd like you and the audience to know that I'm praying for Steve Kane and his family.
Oh, it's pretty bad. It's what Steve's family's going through.
I know. And I'm hoping that you feel much better very, very soon as well.
Yes. Yeah, I was talking to Steve this morning, and he was telling me some more of the details. And I told Steve, I said, you came on in the middle of the show and you dropped that news. It was kind of hard to move on with the rest of the show after that.
He was in shock. I don't think he realized how hard it was going to hit him.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
The reason for my call this morning is you keep saying that Geraldo is a Jew, and on paper he is. But personally, I don't think
on paper.
Liberal Jews. I don't think there are any Christian Jews. Christian liberals. I think if you're a liberal, that's your religion, and the state is your God. That's my opinion.
Well, you know what I've learned over the years, liberal Jews who always side with Israel's enemies, they view the Palestinians as victims of the superior military of Israel. And it's like the cops versus, the blacks in the inner city. It's the same type of thing with the liberals. There's always a victim and there's always an oppressor, and they view Israel as an oppressor. You can hear it in that sick, twisted exchange on Hannity.
Right. Now, as far as that exchange is concerned, if you listen to the exchange very, very carefully, you'll notice that Geraldo was yelling, "I demand a ceasefire. I demand a ceasefire."
Now, who is he?
What's that?
Yeah, who is he to demand such a thing?
Well, exactly, but this is what they do all the time. The Palestinians launch their rockets into Israel. Israel retaliates, naturally, and immediately the supporters of Palestine demand ceasefire.
Yeah.
So it's okay for the Palestinians to launch their rockets, but it's not okay for Israel to defend itself.
Yeah. It's always been this way, and this is a tragic thing that's happening here because Netanyahu will allow the ceasefire when they complete what they're doing, and it seems they're going in there and taking out certain individuals that they want to get rid of that are causing trouble. But I'm not an expert on Middle Eastern affairs involving Israel, but I've lived through the era when these things happen, and this is the beginning of back like it was in the 90s during the Clinton years when Arafat was around, and you had a homicide bombing every other week. This is the beginning of that. And the reason that is, if you look back when they called them suicide bombers, but now we call them homicide bombers. They walk into a restaurant, they walk into a wedding, they blow themselves and everybody up. The peak of that, when there were more of those attacks than ever, is when Bill Clinton was president and he was negotiating with the Palestinians. And they were using these incidents to get Israel and the Americans to broker peace deals that they benefit from. And now that we have an anti-Semitic administration and party running this country, I think they view this as an opportunity. And I think we're going to see a lot more of this go on and on and on during the Biden presidency, because this is how they get America to force Israel to the table.
Going on than what the Palestinians want, because under Bill Clinton, Yasser Arafat got every single thing that he demanded, and he still rejected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They really don't want peace. They just don't want Israel to exist anymore. They don't want Jews to exist any longer.
And they want Israel to cease to exist. Exactly.
And it really burns me. I was talking to Rabbi David the other day. The reason Israel exists today, it's not just because, it's the land that God gave the Jews in the Bible. That's part of it. But the main reason is the Holocaust. And, when in the lead up to the Holocaust, even Franklin Roosevelt would not accept European Jews. There was nowhere for Jews to go. Hitler said the Jews could leave at one point, but no one would take them. And that was it. So Israel was formed so the Jews had a safe place after the terrible Holocaust had happened, you know, and that's it, you know, and now they want, I guess, finish the job. It seems to me. Come on, yeah, and it's really sad. It's really sad. I've wanted to visit Israel, but you know, hey, tourism's coming back, but it's not going to be coming back to Israel. My goodness, it's not going to be safe in Israel for a long time.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah. All right. Take care, man. John in Wellington. Take care. Good morning. You're on the radio.
And this is Geraldo.
Hey, Rolando. What's up?
I was listening at Bongino and Geraldo, the clip that you showed, and last night. And Geraldo, he seems to be a man that knows that he is no longer irrelevant, and he is fighting for relevancy right now. To me, that is his problem.
Mm-hmm.
With respect to the Palestinians, Brian, they have had money hand over fist from the United States. They've had money from the Europeans. They seem to pick leadership that are either perverts or thugs or outright thieves. Geraldo knows good and well that the Palestinians, because of their mentality, because of what they believe, they do not see their children the way other people see children, okay? They see their children as arrows for fighting Israel.
You know, and I got to tell you, I just remembered, you know, a couple years back, there was an Islamic terrorist attack on a nightclub in Paris, a shooting incident, and Geraldo's daughter was there in the club when it happened. You know, so his daughter's been a victim of Islamic terrorism, and he's still, well, another thing with Bongino and Geraldo, on the last dust-up between the two of them, Bongino called into question Geraldo's whole existence. Geraldo thinks that because he reported on stories, like did ride-alongs with the police, or that was a cop, or that because he reported from a war zone that he's been in combat. And Bongino pointed out how you're not a cop, you weren't in combat, and that really hit Geraldo.
He can't handle when he has to buckle up against somebody who has actually, as far as I'm concerned with respect to Bongino, that has actually done some very significant things, who has actually been on the end of security.
Well, he's insecure. You know, Geraldo was on The Celebrity Apprentice with President Trump, and President Trump carried him through that. And it was not only was he lousy, he was on in the same season with Governor Blagojevich, the one that went to prison that he got out, that Trump left. And it was very sad to see Geraldo on The Celebrity Apprentice, not just because he performed so poorly, but I didn't realize how pathetically insecure of a man he is. You know, and
He's extremely insecure. I got a feeling Ron Williams is the same way, believe it or not. But see, they've been lifted up for so long, Brian, and they're not used to being on the scene with other players. It's even hard for Hannity, because I've listened to him a number of times, and I'm beginning to hear redundancy and, datedness from him.
Well, I was talking in the first hour, I don't know how long you've been listening today, but Bongino is being positioned as the Rush Limbaugh replacement, which is not 100% accurate. He's not been hired by EIB, but I think Hannity is very paranoid and jealous of Bongino. Fox gave him a show on the weekends. He's being named the Rush replacement, and Hannity's got to have some paranoia and jealousy over that.
Yeah, but you know what, Brian? At some point in the game, you are going to become either a mentor or you're going to become extremely paranoid. Because as you live, you're going to be young and you're going to be old, and there are going to be new players all of the time.
Yeah.
And as for Bongino, I tell you, I've respected him, but I know what he's been through physically, to be honest with you, and and I just have a tremendous respect for him, because he took Geraldo to the mat last night.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time that he were put to the mat.
Well, Bongino handled Geraldo like a pro. He really did. I like Bongino. I have no beef towards Bongino. I listened to his podcast. For a long time. He's pretty good. I've never heard him though, really, except with these Geraldo exchanges. I've never really heard him in a dust-up with somebody from the other side, and he handled Geraldo like he was a master samurai going up against some amateur, swordsman. I mean, he just filleted him.
He did. But Brian, you mentioned the Joe Biden car. I'm glad to know, to be honest with you, that he wasn't driving because to be that is a scary proposition. And whoever's doing this and trying to coordinate this, they are, to me, they are masters in that the media is keeping their mouth shut.
Well, yeah, Biden was pretending. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again because I went through the details in the first hour, but I have a video on this on my YouTube channel. If you're just tuning in, Biden was not driving that pickup truck that we saw in the news yesterday. He was pretending to drive it. The Secret Service man next to him had a steering wheel and was driving. The entire press corps were right there and witnessed the fraud, and not one of them reported it. Not one of them.
Oh, and you know what, Brian? This is what is getting scarier time and time again. Because now, it's not that. It's one thing for you not to report, a ballot issue or to report what actually happened in a state. It's another thing for you to see someone impaired like that. And
yeah,
you don't mention it.
He's obviously not capable of driving. And when that truck, it makes sense now because when that truck comes to the press pool, it was going like 70, 80 miles an hour. And I thought, wow, he's driving like a madman, Biden.
But I must say I am a bit relieved. But here I'm also scared because if that many people are complicit,
that's right,
in the lies.
That's correct.
We do have a major.
That was the fake news media. All right, Rolanda, take care. We got to take our break. If you're on hold, stand by. I'll go right to the phones after the break. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be back right after this.
Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
Traveling, you need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right. Yes. 21 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, Brian. It's Barbara from Boca.
Hey, Barbara. What's up?
Hey. Two things about Geraldo. I'm a good 20 years older than you. I just turned 70. And I remember Geraldo becoming famous at the Willowbrook disaster with all the disabled children. And filming them in the halls, disabled, and doing terrible things to themselves. And the other thing is, he keeps talking about the Palestinian children. I know you haven't been yet. I wish you can go. We've been several times. The Palestinian children are being raised as young terrorists. They strap bombs to their children and their women. So Geraldo's out of his mind. And yes, you're correct. He is a self-hating Jew, and he's just looking for fame and notoriety.
Well, okay, so you know, you're in Boca. Where are you from originally?
New York.
Okay, so you know about New York liberals who are Jews being anti-Israel. I mean, this is the way it is. Why are liberal Jews like Geraldo siding with Hamas?
Because they're self-hating, like you.
Well, it's more detailed than that. There's got to be more than. It's not self-hating. It's that's part of it. But I think now again I'm open to be corrected on this. I think the reason that is because they view every situation, no matter what conflict it is, right? They view two groups, a victim and an oppressor, and they view the Palestinians as victims and the Israelis as oppressors. Like Black Lives Matter versus the police, the liberal position on that in this country, for example. You know, yeah, that's what it is. And when this is, to me, this is an important point to be made because, you know, with the endless discussions for the last 70 years about how the Holocaust happened, and the people that ask the question never answer it. Geraldo is why the Holocaust happened. People like Geraldo making excuses. Oh, Chancellor Hitler, he wanted peace in our time, and oh no, he's got the Sudeten. That's it. You know, he wants no more. You know what I mean. You know, and this is how the Holocaust happened. People making excuses for the anti-Semites who were on a mission to kill Jews. That's how the Holocaust happened.
Here's what the real Jewish transplants in Boca think. They're worried. We're really worried because all the transplants are growing here. They're growing exponentially in number every day. Every day.
Oh, you mean New York transplants because of COVID to Florida? I know. I see so many. I see so many New York license plates, more than normal this time of year.
I don't know what they're bringing with them in terms of policy.
They're bringing Democrat votes with them.
They want to get rid of our governor and people.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
it's truly horrendous. And Geraldo, he is looking to stay current. I listen to Bongino every day. Look, he has some issues of his own, but he's a smart man. He is. And as far as Hannity is concerned, Hannity is all about himself. He may not have been years ago, but he is now. And it's sad. It's really a...
Oh, so what do you mean? What do you think that there's some paranoia and jealousy from Hannity towards Bongino and his rise as the Rush replacement?
Oh, and Bongino and anybody who's up and coming, like Tucker. Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
It's really a sad...
Well, he should not be so vanilla. You know, if Geraldo should be torn apart by Hannity. If Hannity wouldn't be so vanilla and spend so much time on his monologue, he would be the one triggering Geraldo. You know, not bringing somebody in to do it.
You're correct, and I also remember when Hannity and Combs were together, and how even though they were together, inadvertently he was attacking.
Well, let me tell you something. I don't have a lot of tolerance for liberals, but Alan Combs was a different kind of Democrat. And in fact, if you watch at the end, he was really a Republican. You know, he knew. And Steve was friends with Alan Combs. I always liked Alan Combs. Okay, he wasn't like these Juan William type liberals, Bob Beckles and stuff. He was a gentleman, and that Hannity and Combs show was pretty good. And Hannity got rid of him. He got him fired. There's no doubt about it. And that's when I lost it for Hannity, when he got Alan Combs fired, because Alan Combs was a good guy. I didn't like that at all.
I used to listen to Hannity every day on the way home from work. I happen to be blind. You know me. I was on one of your cruises.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But I used to ride back from the city every day in Accessorize, which is kind of like the paratransit here, but much worse. And I used to spend my time on those buses listening to Hannity and people like that. And it made me sick. It really did, because all we got was how he grew up and what he did.
Oh, the constant resume and his constant I'm an average Joe. He's worse than Biden, telling you all the stories about growing up at the kitchen table and Dad coming in and telling us he lost his job. Yeah, I know. It's
somebody else from the radio stations that I missed. It's Malsberg, Steve Malsberg. Did you ever listen?
Oh yeah, I forgot about Steve Malsberg. Yeah, what happened to Malsberg?
Well, we don't know what happened. He was dismissed, and we never heard it.
No. Yeah, I know. He's very good. Steve's friends with him, too. Steve knows all these guys.
He was a great guy to listen to, Malmsberg.
I didn't listen to Malmsberg too much. I've only heard him a few times. I don't have, yeah.
You're at least 20 years younger. Good for you.
Yeah.
Malmsberg was a real good guy to listen to, and on the right side of everything all the time.
Well, you know, what I was talking about in the first hour with Hannity and this thing, I think Hannity is plotting. He's befriending Bongino in a plot to bring Bongino down because he's totally paranoid about Bongino.
You might be correct. I have one more question for you before I let you talk with others. The question is, I missed the first 10 minutes of your show. What was the conflict between Biden and Harris yesterday? There was some problems between them.
No. There's a new book out. And in the book, let me get the quote right. It was a quote of Jill Biden after the first Democrat debate. You know, the one where Kamala called her a racist? And the book says that after the debate, Jill Biden said, go F yourself. Yeah, and you know, and even if it's probably true, because, I mean, she raised Hunter Biden. So, you know, I know everybody thinks she's like a librarian. She's scummy person, okay? She raised Hunter. She was married when she, you know, started sleeping with Joe. So yeah, she's a home wrecker. Yeah, I believe that she said it, but even if she didn't, now the tension between her and Kamala is going to be very tough because Kamala's got to be pissed off about this.
Sure, but we don't hear much from Kamala. She's very quiet.
Yeah. All right. Take care. Appreciate the call. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, Brian. Robert Fenton, Kentucky.
Yeah, Robert. What's up?
The left is beginning to unravel.
Well, give me an example that makes you say that.
It's like everything they've been saying, like Fauci and all that stuff about the Wuhan left.
Yeah.
They're losing lives to cover up their...
No, I don't think the left are unraveling. I think the left are, they're very happy right now. You know, the whole world's falling apart. They've turned Israel into a villain, you know, in many circles. You know, they're very happy. In this January 6th hearing that they're going to have, they're going to be loving that, trying to blame Trump for everything that's happened at the Capitol. No, the liberals, sadly, all this chaos. You know, we had a period of peace and tranquility even during COVID with President Trump. The whole nation and the country are in chaos right now, and this is what they like. The Democrats are very happy.
Design, man.
Yeah.
Chaos by design.
Chaos by design. That is correct. All right, take care, Kentucky. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back after this.
Have you gone without insurance through the
Steve Kane Show.
because you thought you couldn't afford it? The times
Hold on.
are changing. I have exciting news to share with you from I Will Advisors. With the signing of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, the government has increased the subsidies available to people buying insurance through the marketplace.
Steve Kane Show.
In fact, even people making over 400%
Steve Kane Show.
poverty level can get insurance now and not
Hello.
pay more than 8.5% of their income.
Yep.
There's talk
What's your name? Wheezy. Hold on.
$1 per month with these new changes. It doesn't cost anything to check, but everyone must take action. The special election period will end, but the sooner you take action, the sooner you can start saving money. Call Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. It's here, the
Be right back, guys.
It's in the mid-90s.
Bathroom break.
In the middle of the day, and that's what the actual temperature is. The heat index, much higher than that. That means your air conditioner is going to work harder and harder, driving up your electric bill. And on the line, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to save you big, big money on your electric bill. Tell them how you're going to do it, Scott.
Hey, Brian. Well, you know, we do it with the radiant barrier installation and making sure that none of your air conditioning products are leaking into your attic. But I have Rebecca on the line with me, who's a longtime Steve Kane listener, and we had the pleasure of going up and doing a whole attic package for her at her house on Wednesday of this week, and we put all new ducts in for radiant barrier and all new insulation. And she just wants to tell you how her experience was.
Good morning. I wanted to let you know that this morning, first of all, the people that came out, his crew, were very, very polite, and they did the work. It's a very difficult job to go up in an attic, pull out all the old ducts, come in and put in all new ducts, extra additional ducts to make my system work better. I'm in the construction industry. I'm an architect, so I'm familiar with what the cost could be and how much time it takes to do everything. And let me tell you, I was very impressed, and my attic looks like a spaceship up there with all new ducts. They took out the metal duct that was insulated and leaking on my ceiling.
Welcome, everyone. Make sure that you like the video, everyone.
What we use now in the industry. But let me tell you, what I paid for the entire package should have cost just to remove the old ductwork and install new ductwork. And I got everything for less than what I thought it was.
Well, that's amazing. And when Scott from Cut My Kilowatts brings that radiant barrier into your attic, it pays for itself, because what it does, it cools off your ceiling, cools off your attic, keeps that hot Florida heat that's well over 100 degrees in your attic off of your air conditioning ducts, which means your air conditioner works less to keep your house cool and comfortable for you, which means you have lower electrical bills. It works. Listen, guys, give Scott at Cut My Kilowatts a call. His number's listed at SteveKaneShow.com, as is his website if you miss it. His number, which rings directly to him, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. That's Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney
Steve Kane Show.
at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with
Hey,
the
Barry, hold on.
distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for
All right, and it's time to check in with attorney Barry Siegel, our elder law attorney, our Medicaid planning attorney, and also estate planning attorney, attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Good morning, Barry.
Good morning. How are you, Brian?
Doing well, better than Steve. You know, Steve had one of his son-in-laws passed away day before yesterday. He's not with us today dealing with that, and he not only left behind Steve's daughter, the wife, but children, and a young guy. And it really, you know, I was thinking about you when Steve actually told me that, because these things can happen at unexpected times. This happened on a vacation. Yeah, I know. No, I know. Yeah.
You know, it's just a reminder that we always need to be prepared. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what tomorrow brings. I was just going to share with you this morning that yesterday I visited a client, a family in a nursing home. The mother had been in the nursing home after rehab kind of started with the regular nursing home services for about 2 months, at about a little over $8,000 a month. She had about roughly $150,000 left in her name. And, you know, the good news is that they called and we're going to be able to stop the financial bleeding immediately and get the Medicaid going, and they won't have to spend down any more. But at this point, they did have to spend down the first $16,000. So if we have anybody that we know, any loved ones that are in nursing homes and they're already spending down their assets, or if they're just about to move into a nursing home, we could help stop that financial bleeding by exploring the possibility of getting them eligible for Medicaid. Even if you think they have too much money, if they have too much income, you should still call us. We still may be able to save those assets for you.
Yeah. And, you know, Barry, I'll tell you, you know, people make a lot of mistakes when it comes to these situations. But I think the biggest mistake people make is they assume that they have to spend down all their assets, have no money in the bank, and own nothing, and then they can call you to help them. And nothing could be further from the truth.
And you have no idea how many times I hear that from people. People actually think that what you said is correct, that if they have too much money, there's no way, there's this 5-year look-back period, I can't get around that. You need to speak to us, and we can help. Probably 9 times out of 10, we can help and protect those assets.
Yeah. So listen, call attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. He has an entire group inside the Siegel Law Group that specialize in this very thing. Some of them have even been through it themselves. Okay, and it's always a free consultation with attorney Barry Siegel. His number, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, attorney Barry Siegel, we'll finish out the week tomorrow. All right, you two take care. Attorney Barry Siegel, give him a call. All right, right back to the phones. Wheezy, good morning, Wheezy.
Good morning. Hi, let me take a speaker. Hi, I was just listening to you, and I heard you say that during the pandemic, we had peace and tranquility. When did we have peace and tranquility during the pandemic?
The 4 years of the Trump administration. Yeah.
Kidding me?
Well, I can explain to you. When you say, yeah, well, sure. Well, talking about peace, first off, now this may come as a shock to you, but President Trump is the first president since the end of the Second World War to not start a new war. And he defeated ISIS and brought back most all of our troops from this 2-decade-long conflict in the Middle East. So that's peace right there. So far, and then the tranquility. I'll respond to the tranquility, and then you can respond to both, Wheezy. We were hit. When did what happen?
Over in the Middle East, they're still fighting and killing.
Oh no, things have blown up over there. No, things are blowing up over there now because the Democrats Biden is in. I'm talking about the Trump era.
He's been blowing up the whole time.
They took a break during the 4 years of Trump. And so far as tranquility, here we were dealt with this god-awful pandemic, very scary. This time last year was a frightening time in all of our lives. Vast areas of the economy. Let me finish. The economy shut down for a couple of months completely. Huge sectors of it shut down indefinitely, including still even today. And President Trump was able to keep the American economy together during the very dark COVID year.
Are you kidding me?
No.
You're wrong. Through a recession because the president left us in this big old mess. He messed up in the first place because he mismanaged the pandemic by not telling everybody. He didn't do the right thing.
Oh, really? You did? He didn't tell anybody? So excuse me. So you said, hold on, no, Wheezy. You said President Trump didn't tell anyone about the pandemic. Were you unaware there was a pandemic last year? There was a press conference every day by the president.
I let you talk. Yes, I was aware of it. Of course I was aware of it. But think about the lie he told everybody. And think about how he mismanaged it.
Wait, what? The lie? What lie did President Trump tell about the pandemic? Wait. You said think about the lie. What lie did he tell about the pandemic?
When he told people that it wasn't that bad, don't worry about it, it'll be over in 2 days.
He never said that. He never said that.
Stop wrong.
He said it would be over in 2 days? He never said it would be over in 2 days.
Now, don't worry about it. We only got a few.
I tell you what, Wheezy, you find the audio, you find the audio of President Trump saying the pandemic will be over in 2 days, and I'll play it on the radio at the top of every hour on tomorrow's show. Oh, you exaggerate. Oh, she exaggerated. Okay, she exaggerated. Now he didn't say that. She said, think about the big lie. She gives me that example. Now she said she exaggerated. Boy, good morning. You're on the radio.
Oh, my goodness, Brian. Oh, my goodness. It's
Yeah.
Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
I'm on after Wheezy.
I know.
I know that you know. Because the person or the people who were lying about it were the Democrats. Nancy Pelosi out in Chinatown saying, come on down. There's nothing to be scared of.
Yeah, come on down. You can be the next contestant on COVID-19 is right. You know, yeah, exactly. That's what she said. And in fact, President Trump in his State of the Union talked about shutting down China and COVID, and that was the one that Nancy Pelosi tore up and threw on the desk. Remember when she tore up the speech? He was talking about COVID in that speech.
Exactly. And then he wanted to shut the borders, and it was the Democrats that said, you're xenophobic. Joe Biden said it.
Mm-hmm.
Xenophobic. Dr. Fauci, the hero of COVID. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
You know, President Trump kept America together. If anyone else was president last year, we would have entered a second Great Depression. And he was able to keep this country together during an economic shutdown that has never been experienced on a global scale. And I think it was absolutely amazing what he did. And he should be given the damn Nobel Peace Prize for saving us last year.
He should be. And you know what? If Biden were in charge, but here's the thing about the Democrats. Even with the war in Israel, the Democrats love to stand on the graves of the dead. They've been doing it constantly throughout the pandemic.
Yeah.
Israel, and now with the riots, they love when people get killed. Because they live for it. And this is how ignorant Lizzie is. Which doesn't shock me because she admitted yesterday on the radio that she can't drive and listen at the same time.
Yeah.
That said a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
If Lizzie understood basic economics, the reason why we're going into a recession is because the Democrats keep printing money that has no value behind it. That's how you go in.
Well, we're you know, I was seeing today, good news out of New York. They opened up the bars, you know. And if I were a reporter in New York, I'd go to AOC's bar and ask AOC to come over there and interview her in front of the bar that she poured drinks at. But, you know, and see if she could actually mix a drink. Or was it just a beer and wine bar? You know, one of the waitresses said she stole tips. You know, here's the thing. We're about to face a huge real estate problem because people have not been paying the rent and mortgages in places like New York City and in other parts of the country because of the stopping of evictions and things. And we could very well face a massive real estate financial. The one in 2008 was huge. That was a huge problem, and that was just with a small portion of mortgages. It was the subprime mortgage crisis, the 2008 real estate crisis, the subprime mortgage crisis. Now we've got everyone's mortgage in trouble, and I don't know what's going to happen. It's pretty frightening, and we have clowns running the country that can't even drive a car. You know, like, you know, with this fake. Did you see the video of Biden pretending to drive?
I did, and Brian, I know that I don't have to tell you this. Everything that this administration does is nothing but a PR stunt. From him driving the car to him going to...
Yeah, but this thing with Biden, for those that are just tuning in, I was talking about this earlier. The truck that Biden threatened to drive over the reporter in, he was not driving it. He was pretending to drive it. The Secret Service man next to him was driving it. You can see this. I made a YouTube video about this. It's on my YouTube channel. You can see there's two steering wheels in the car, and the Secret Service man is actually driving on the passenger side with the steering wheel. And after he tells the bad joke about running the reporter over, you can see this. Go to my YouTube channel and watch this, guys. Biden takes the steering wheel and turns it all the way to the right, and the truck speeds off very fast. In slow motion, after Biden turns the wheel all the way to the right, the tires on the ground are facing straight, and the truck drove off straight. He was pretending to drive. Not one member of the press who witnessed this reported it. And a lot went into this cover-up. The press were a part of it. The White House was a part of it. Ford was a part of it because it was their vehicle. You know, there had to be, they had to pick this particular guy to drive it. from the Secret Service. This is crazy to me, and I haven't seen it reported on. It's all over the internet, but it's not on television.
Oh, Brian, that's just Joe. You know, that's just Joe. That's just how Joe is.
Yeah, that's what they said about the Tara Reid allegations. Oh, Joe. It's just Joe in the hallway with the girls.
Joe and his son in China and the Ukraine, and his son committing a felony.
Yeah.
On a gun.
Oh, that's just Joe. Come on now. Yeah, that's just how Joe is.
Joe, it's Biden, and then the fake Dr. Jill telling Kamala Harris, I just think it's just Joe Biden just being ridiculous.
No, this when I first heard this story, I heard this story at the end of yesterday's show that he was pretending to drive the truck, and I said there's no way. That's crazy conspiracy theory stuff. And after the show I watched the video, I couldn't believe it. It's amazing that the press went along with it. The White House set this up, and I really hope Emerald Robinson or Ducey ask Jen Psaki about this.
Didn't even walk up the stairs on Air Force One.
Yeah.
He's
well, they set it up so that he looks like because he's got so many problems. They always want to make him look fit. So they figure if he can drive that truck was going pretty fast. It looked like a Ford commercial, and they wanted it to look like he was a cool guy and could drive a car, and he can't, obviously.
My suggestion to Weezy is that she starts reading economics books, right? Because she's moved on up, right? She's big shot, she's wealthy. She better start reading economics books, because you know what? What is that they say? Pride cometh before the fall?
Yeah. All right, Andre, I gotta run for a break, but thanks for the call. We're going to take our last break of the second hour. And very good callers today. We started off weak, right? Those first callers in the first half hour, if you missed that part of the show, go back and listen to it. Oh, my goodness. Those first couple of callers were rough. But pathetic, embarrassing. But now the caller level has increased and gotten better and better as the show has gone on. All right, listen, we'll take our break and be right back, all right? My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be...
Linda, $50 super sticker. Linda West, thank you so much. Could everybody in the chat room thank Linda West for that $50 super sticker?
Prices are so reasonable. You don't have to worry about
If you guys, thank you guys for thank you, Linda, and thank everyone for thanking Linda. That is awesome.
4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
This is Dr. Mitchell Matez of the Biostation West Delray.
That's awesome, Linda. And thank you, everyone, for thanking her.
Have you worked your tail off trying to build muscle with no result? At the Biostation West Delray, we offer all of the latest treatment modalities, including growth factor and peptide therapies to help promote weight loss, muscle recovery, support cognitive function, improve libido, and more. If you want to get to the root cause of the problem, our medical team can do the job. Call the Biostation West Delray at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, yes. 51 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Champagne Automotive Repair. They will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle does not need. Steve's son Tyler took his car to one of those big places. You can figure out which one. There's only like 3 of them, right? One of the big national names. They looked over his car from bumper to bumper, and they printed out all the work, all the maintenance, all the repairs that he needed. Then Steve's son took his car up to Champaign Automotive Repair, didn't show him the list that the other place gave him, and they did a bumper-to-bumper diagnostic of the car. And Champaign Automotive in Boca found that the place, the big name place, told Steve's son that he needed $843.12 in repairs and maintenance that the vehicle did not need, including spark plugs, ignition work, rotors on the brakes, a whole bunch of things. Can you believe? Champaign Automotive Repair, they'll never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. They work on all makes and models. They work on your private vehicles. They work on your sports cars. They work on your classic cars. They work on commercial vehicles. They do it all. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. Trump's fighting back against this. Oh, I want to talk about, before I get into the thing in New York, this 9/11 type January 6th congressional hearing they're going to have. Yesterday, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the great Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is just spectacular, put out a video explaining why she was opposing this congressional hearing into January 6th, the Capitol breach. And she brought up some things that I did not know about it, and I'm pretty well informed about it. There are already about half a dozen federal investigations going into the breach. That's number one, okay? And I did not know there were so many. Yeah, that's right. There's about half a dozen. She put out a video. It's 22 minutes long on Facebook yesterday, and she listed the investigations that are going on. It's 4 to 6. It was a lot of them, and she named them, which was very interesting, very specific. And she was talking about how they put, they're calling this January 6th hearing bipartisan because there's Republicans on the committee as well. Well, Kevin McCarthy, this traitor Kevin McCarthy that I don't trust at all. I've been telling you, he lives with the liberal pollster Frank Luntz. He's moved out since Tucker exposed it, but you know. The Republican that is the Republican leader in this January 6th investigation voted to impeach President Trump. That's the bipartisan Republican heading this thing. Marjorie Taylor Greene broke that yesterday. Is that amazing? And it's a place just to grandstand and try to blame everything on Trump without any evidence, just Congress people. Here's another thing. How many people went into the Capitol? Do you know how many people went into the Capitol? I was shocked. Just a little over 800. Marjorie Taylor Greene had the exact number. Less than 900 people went into the Capitol building. I thought it was a couple of thousand, based on what I've seen, right? Less than 900, little more than 800. All right? And they have arrested already and have in custody 475 of the just over 800. So more than half of the people are in custody. They've been arrested. Some may be out. Okay? But I know. Isn't this something? So they have way more than half of the people that went into the Capitol either in custody or already arrested and out on bail. And she says they have at least 100 more that they are going to arrest. So they already have identified enough that they're going to arrest 575 out of the just over 800 people that went in. And some of them we know they don't want to arrest because they're Democrats, right? That's amazing. And they're all going to face trials, and evidence and things are going to come out of that. So that's why President Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene are opposed to this. Kevin McCarthy's lying. He's in favor of it. That's why he put a Republican leader of it who voted to impeach President Trump. That's disgusting. Kevin McCarthy, he's a disgusting person. Living with Frank Luntz. I thought it was amazing. So, and Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't say this, but this is my observation. See, I've been telling you that they're putting off these trials until as close to the election as possible. And they're going to have they're not going to cut deals with any of them. They're going to take them to trial. And they're going to have 575, maybe even more by that time, but at least there's going to be 575 trials of people in federal court going on. And the media are going to love this. And the Democrats are going to love this. And the Never Trumpers are going to love this. And it's going to be MAGA on trial will be the graphic on the screen. MAGA on trial, Trump on trial. And those trials, they're timing them for the election so they can give this impression that Trump's support is, domestic terrorists right before the midterm elections, with President Trump backing a lot of candidates both in primaries and in the general election in his fight to retake the Republican Party's control completely away from these never-Trumpers like Liz Cheney and her crew. But another reason they want to have the hearing, now this wasn't Marjorie Taylor Greene, this is my thought. The 575 federal trials, none of them will be televised because federal courts are not televised. There's no camera in a federal courtroom. And when there's a trial with a camera in the courtroom, people get excited, they follow it every day, they see everything. They can't show these trials. They can be out front and they can report on them, but it's not the same as when you've got that camera in the courtroom, waiting for the jury verdict, hearing witnesses and all this. You understand what I mean? The interaction with the attorneys and everything else. People don't get as interested in trials that they can't see on TV. So none of these 575 trials can be seen on television. So what they want to do is have the congressional hearing so they can have a television trial. And it'll be a mock trial, the hearing, because these hearings are meaningless, of President Trump and on the Capitol breach. That's what's going on here, and it's pretty damn outrageous, and it should not be happening. It's a continuation of the witch hunt that President Trump has been going through for years now. And, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I watched this 22-minute video she made on this. I was so impressed with her. I've not seen her in that type of forum before. It was just her in front of her computer talking. She might have even been doing it on her cell phone. I don't know. I've seen her give speeches and interviews and everything, but I've never seen her talk for that period of time just off the top of her head herself, free associating. She is very brilliant. She's very smart. She's as smart as she is tough. And I was really, really super impressed with that. I did tweet that video, but if you can find it, it was on her Facebook. She did a Facebook video. And I was Marjorie Taylor Greene. So look for that video and watch the whole thing. I think you'll be impressed by it too. You're not going to see her on television in that type of situation because they want to portray her as a nutcase. All right, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. We'll take our break and be right back after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalwood Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on The Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great My Pillow products are. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the My Pillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the My Pillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling to get testimonials of my Pillow topper.
You ordered the My Pillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress because my old mattress was getting old. So my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top? So I went on, I used your promo code Kane. I got great price. Got it home and I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the MyPillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress company stopped making two-sided mattresses, and mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saves you from buying a new mattress and turn your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. And you guys out there, remember, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Now, when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper and receive 2 free MyPillows. But you got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are State of Florida certified roofing and general contractors, focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Hurricane season is right around the corner. This gives us only a short period of time to make sure your roof and home is ready for the 2021 hurricane season. So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find our latest video and live testimonials from a few of our past clients. Our number again is 954-604-4602.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now, here's...
Welcome back. Third hour has begun. It's 5 after 8. I'm Brian. Steve will be back with us tomorrow. Steve's out today dealing with, what he dropped on the air yesterday. This New York Attorney General, what's her name? James, the lady. She's now doing a criminal probe into Trump, which is so ridiculous. I went and pulled up something today that she ran for this office a few years back. She's elected. And I remember when she said this at the time, so I went back and pulled something up. She campaigned promising to take Trump to court. That's right, without any investigation or anything. And she told a girl on the street on her cell phone, recording it, that she would do just that. Listen to this. This is the Attorney General of New York when she was running for office, talking to some liberal girl, some liberal millennial.
I've always seen people say, I'm not going to bother to register to vote because my voice doesn't make a difference, or I'm just one person. I say one name, Donald Trump. That should motivate you. Stop your ass and vote. Will you sue him for us? Oh, we're going to sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally. I love it. He probably does already.
And she's laughing. And that's the Attorney General in New York when she was running for office. The girl said, "Will you sue Trump for us?" She says, "Oh yeah, I'll sue him. I'll be a real pain. He'll know my name." Well, wait a minute. What about an investigation to determine whether or not there should be a court case? You mean she decided to take him to court before there was any investigation? That sounds corrupt to me. Sure does. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Hey, Liberal Al. Hey, Al. What's up?
I want to say I'm sorry to hear about his son-in-law's passing surfing, which is
body surfing.
Dangerous activity. I haven't done that.
Well, apparently it can be deadly.
Yeah.
Well, you know what happens is the undercurrent. The undercurrent gets you.
It's not the son-in-law that's in England.
I'm not going to say. I don't know him. I don't know him. I've never met him. It happened on a vacation. It was on vacation. I'm not going to say where, but it happened on vacation.
Condolences, but to something that, first of all, you asked if it was seen on TV. It was on Newsmax. In fact, Stitchfield laughed at.
Oh, okay. What you're talking about is Biden, the fake pretending to drive the truck, was on Stitchfield on Newsmax TV though. Well, yeah, that's awesome. Newsmax, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, what are your thoughts on it? Why was your president pretending to drive that truck? Why were they lying to us?
That's the media that's lying to you, not him. Okay, and he just said a funny joke, which.
I'm not talking about the joke. No. I'm talking. Did Stitchfield on Newsmax talk about how he wasn't really driving the truck? Oh, must not have. I'm not talking about the joke. Have you seen my YouTube video about it? Go watch it.
This week, and so I'm getting rid of my Xfinity. So now.
Does anybody really care what you're doing with your cable, Al, in the listening audience? I mean, who cares what you're doing with your cable?
Only saying that is that liberals do watch Newsmax from time to time.
Yeah, because it's very good.
Oh no, it's propaganda for the right, and it's.
Oh, give me an example of something. Okay, give me an example of something on Newsmax that was untrue.
Well, the members of the insurrection. You know, your Annie Biggs, your Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's an insurrectionist.
No, I'm not in favor of that. In fact, I condemned that immediately. I condemned it while it was going on social media. I came on the radio the next day and condemned it. No, I don't support any of that. And all those people will be prosecuted and should, for whatever crimes they may have committed. People committed different levels of crime there.
Janae Lamassey would say you have multiple personalities.
Oh, really? Really? She would say that? Are you in? How would you know what she would say?
You would express opinions that are contradictory all the time.
No, I don't. I'm not contradictory. I may change my mind about something, which I have many times. Because I'm man enough to. But let's get back to this. Yesterday, Joe Biden pretended in this truck. We found out he was not driving. He pretended to drive the truck. The Secret Service man next to him was driving the electric truck. Is Biden not capable of driving? What's that about?
That's done for security reasons, I believe.
Security reasons?
Professional with him at all times when it comes.
No. It wasn't. No. He was in the car with a Secret Service man, and the Secret Service man in the passenger side was actually the electric truck was rigged in a way that it could be driven from the passenger side, and Biden was sitting in the driver's seat, lying to the American people, making the American people believe he was actually driving the truck.
That wasn't a performance like you're making it sound to be.
Yeah, it was. At the end, go on my YouTube channel, Brian Craig on YouTube. I made a video about this yesterday. I have slow motion video and photographs of it. And at the end, after Biden tells the joke about running the reporter over, he takes the steering wheel and turns it all the way to the right, like he's going to drive off. The camera, you can only see this in slow motion. The camera comes back, and after Biden turns the wheel all the way to the right, the tires on the road are still straight. And yeah, well, I'm looking for your comment on it.
see him being deceptive. I see the media should have reported that, and they didn't. So,
well, why did Biden turn the wheel as if he was driving? Why wasn't he just sitting in the passenger seat and letting the Secret Service guy drive him? Why did he take part in this fraud?
If he's giving a interview to a reporter, it's more productive to be in the driver's seat than.
But he wasn't driving. Listen. The president's he can do the interview from the passenger side of the vehicle.
I saw him trip 4 or 5 times going up the stairs to his plane.
Oh, so you don't believe he's fit to drive? He's not fit to drive.
Physically, yes.
Well, then, if he's physically capable of driving, why did he fake it, Al?
I have no idea. You have to ask him yourself. I don't really care.
You don't care that he was lying to the American people? Why?
Lying? Hey, how's he lying?
Al, they rigged the. Excuse me. I'm not talking about the joke. I'm talking about the fake driving. They rigged the vehicle up in a way to make it look as if Biden was driving, but the Secret Service guy in the passenger seat was really driving. That's a conspiracy. They rigged the vehicle up that way.
Question, why is that more important than the fact that you have these GOP members all voting against honoring the police on January 6th? Your girlfriend, Taylor Greene, why is she so in favor of not honoring the police?
I can't. I know you brought this up a couple weeks ago, and there were some other things in that she didn't agree with, and I can't remember what they were offhand. But that's not. I'm talking about the news of today, not the news of You're talking about a story. You were talking about a story from a couple weeks ago. This is why it's important. The most stressful job in the world is President of the United States, and if we have a president that is so feeble and incapable of driving that they are putting this whole fake rig on this Ford electric vehicle to make it appear as if he was driving, and not just driving, by the way, at a high rate of speed. That it was flying down there towards the reporters, sped off. They made it look like he was driving like a bat out of hell. That the reason they did that is they wanted to make us think that he is not feeble, that he is mentally and physically fit. He is neither. That's why they did it.
He's mentally fit, a lot more mentally fit than Trump dreams to be. Podcast, question is probably going to be Louis Gohmert.
Oh, listen, Al. Dinesh D'Souza asked a question the other day about this, and I thought it was a good question. What kind of insurrection do the people go without weapons and then peacefully leave?
You don't think they had weapons?
No.
The poll, the New York City poll, police poll was hit one of the police officers. That's a weapon.
No. Excuse me. The only weapon was the one that was used to shoot. What's her? Ashley Babbitt, the veteran. The only weapon was the one used to shoot her. There's a difference between trespassing and an insurrection. There were a handful of people, like the guy with the zip ties, that might have been up to something, and there were different crimes committed. Somebody apparently stole Pelosi's laptop and some other things. Those are all crimes. But when there's a takeover of a building, the people typically have some type of weapons with them, and they certainly don't leave. There's another thing too. If you watch the video, you can see the people walking between I was talking to Andre about this the other day. You can see them walking between the rope lines inside the rotunda. They were staying within the lines where you're supposed to go, most every single one of them. If it was an insurrection, why were they obeying those rules?
Was tased with his own gun?
I haven't heard anything about any one of these people having a weapon like that in there. Hey, listen, going to run for a break. He didn't answer any of my questions. It's because the answers, well, they don't help him promote his narrative. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. We'll be back right after this. Do not go anywhere. All right, we'll be back. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is our number. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631.
Any lab tests now of Boca offer more than just lab work. They also have B12 injections available. B12 injections promote weight loss, increase energy, reduce stress, promote healthy skin, improve sleep, increase metabolism, fight heart disease, improve memory,
Steve Kane Show.
improve mood. B12 injections at any lab
Steve Kane
test
Show.
now of Boca Raton, like their lab test, are priced
Hold on.
low. 5 injections for just $69. Other places in town charge $349 for 3 injections, so that is a huge savings. Any lab test now of Boca Raton is located at 23016 Sandalfoot Plaza on the east side of 441, just a few doors down from Western Beef. If you have any questions, call 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Any lab tests now of Boca Raton. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70.
Yeah, guys, go and watch my video. It's Biden Pretends to Drive is the thumbnail. Go take a look and call me about it.
Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive, and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WN.
Yeah, you know, Friendly Tire in Margate, they are also open on Saturdays, and you can tell all the wet, rainy roads we have today. It was really pouring this morning when I left the house. You do not want to be driving on tires that don't have the proper tread on them. And Friendly Tire in Margate, they're open 6 days a week, all the way through Saturday if you can't make it in there during the week. Every car in my family is on the road with tires from Friendly Tire. You hear the great deals on new and used tires they have. Call Friendly Mike. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net. I was reading a story this morning about Matt Gaetz. You know, this jailhouse snitch got sentenced the other day. I was reading a story in Vanity Fair. This shocked me. Let me just read this. This is Vanity Fair. Matt Gaetz should be weeping, rocking back and forth in a fetal position right now. His former wingman had his charges dropped from 33 to 6 charges in exchange for cooperation. Boy, they really want Matt Gaetz bad. They dropped what, 27 charges against this guy to spread lies about the great Matt Gaetz, and they still haven't picked him up after a 2-year investigation. Oh my goodness, Matt Gaetz did nothing wrong. Matt Gaetz, I'm telling you, this guy, there's a war on MAGA here. Whether it's this commission hearing, whether it's this Matt Gaetz story, there's a war on MAGA. And that's what this is about. Not only would they have had charges, we would have heard from the girl in question that does not exist. Okay? If they're accusing him, they really want him bad, don't they? They're really terrified of Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz could very well be the next governor of Florida after Ron DeSantis becomes Trump's vice president in 2024 and president in 2028. Matt Gaetz could be the governor. He might be a senator in the future. I don't know. But he's got a future in the Republican Party, a big future, and and he's MAGA, and they're terrified of him. I've been saying this for weeks. I've been defending Matt Gaetz since day one. I still stand with Matt Gaetz. You know, this girl in question, she's 19 or 20 years old now. This story's been out there for over 2 months. There's been over a 2-year investigation now. Where is this girl? They say she's a prostitute. Prostitutes do a lot for very little money. Her story with Matt Gaetz is worth a lot of money. She could sell that story to some tabloid and tell her whole story, like Stormy Daniels used to do. And where is she? Where's the media looking for this girl? It's not true. The story's not true. And for them to drop that many charges against this guy, they really, they're desperate. They are desperate to get this guy. All right, our number, 888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. You know, AOC got busted in a bit of hypocrisy this week. No one's going to report this outside the Daily Mail and Breitbart. She hates Amazon. Remember her big thing with Amazon? Amazon was going to open this plant in New York, create 50,000 jobs. Many of them were six-figure jobs. And she doesn't like Amazon. Doesn't like Amazon. And she's also moved on up in the world, and she's been caught in a bit of a hypocrisy. A Tesla Model 3 reported, this is in the Daily Mail, a Tesla Model 3 reportedly belonging to Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, that's AOC, has been spotted parked illegally outside a Whole Foods in Washington, D.C. Whole Foods is owned by Amazon, and she parked illegally. The $35,000 Tesla with New York plates and a congressional parking pass was pictured in a no parking zone near AOC's luxury D.C. apartment on May 14th, the Washington Free Beacon reported. Sources told the Free Beacon that AOC had been seen driving the white Tesla in the neighborhood. Yeah, so here she is. She's patronizing Amazon, and she parks illegally. Do you know why she parks illegally in her Tesla? Do you know why? Because she's AOC, and she can park wherever the hell she wants. The rules don't apply to her. I'm AOC. I'm special. I'm special in my Tesla. I'd like to know why she hasn't been given a ticket for this illegal parking. Good morning. You're on the radio. Yes, you.
I was calling about Biden and his driving the
fake driving, yes.
Yeah, no, he wasn't driving. You could see when he went to take off, when the car went straight, he turned the wheel to the right.
All the way to the right.
The car did not go to the right. The car went straight, and you could see the Secret Service had a steering wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Biden was not driving, and they don't let presidents drive anyway.
No, that's not true. They don't let presidents drive on public roads. That was not a public road. And George W. Bush used to drive all the time on the private roads on his ranch. And others used to drive at Camp David. So they're not allowed to drive on public roads. That was not a public road. That was the Ford Facilities Test Center or something.
Okay, well,
but even if that's the case, okay, well, he can't drive, then he'd be on the passenger side. I'll give you an example. George W. Bush with the mission accomplished. You know, George W. Bush was a fighter pilot in the Texas Air National Guard during the war in Vietnam, and during the mission accomplished era, he landed an aircraft on an aircraft carrier, right? And he wanted to fly in a two-seat fighter aircraft, but they wouldn't let him because there's only two seats. Him and the pilot, and the Secret Service had to be with him, so they took a different kind with a seat. He didn't claim to fly the plane and land it on the carrier. The pilot did it. He never claimed that he was they let him take the controls in the air for a little bit, but he hadn't flown since the 70s, and he's not rated on that aircraft. Biden, this was a whole thing where they set up the second steering wheel. They pretended. This was a whole operation.
Exactly. Why does he have to pretend to be the driver?
Now, where did you see this video? Was it just from me, or did you see it somewhere else?
I saw it somewhere else.
Good. Well, that's good. Yeah, I saw it on the Gateway Pundit, too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what do you think? Now, one person in the press reported it.
of course. Of course.
Well, why do you think they did it? Why do you think they did it?
Oh, he has to always be just, you know, we know why.
Well, they want him to look as if he's mentally and physically fit to be president.
Yeah.
It's
my God, if he stepped on that gas, I can imagine what happened.
Well, I've seen, you know, I don't know. Yeah. No. Well, to me, it's scary that they pulled it off, and not one member of the media went along with it, because not one member of the media reported. You know, the media.
Gosh, look at him.
And they all know, because they were right there. They saw it better than we did. And you know, these journalists, they pretend that they all want to be the next Woodward and Bernstein and have the next big Watergate. And I'm not saying that this. There's still. Yeah, I mean, they have stories every day that are huge scandalous stories, and they don't report them because it doesn't fit the narrative. This story may not be a Watergate level story, but there's a whole plot went into this. You know, did the White House ask the Ford engineers to install this drive system so the Secret Service man could drive it? You know, that's a question. How was this Secret Service man picked? Because that truck was driving like a bat out of hell when it came towards the president. It sped off very fast, too. You know, so there was a whole thing that went into this.
You're right. That went in.
And Biden may have cognitive decline, but he went along as he pretended to drive.
Yeah, this is a whole plot.
Well, yeah. I know a lot of people listening are saying, "Oh, Brian, so what? There's bigger things to, you know, there's bigger fish to fry." But the media was right there, and they saw it and didn't report it. It's a big deal.
There might be bigger fish to fry, but you're right. There was a whole plot to go into getting another steering wheel and the Secret Service in there, and to prove his cognitive abilities. And you're right. Ford had to go into a lot of work to put in a whole nother steering wheel, and I bet you he didn't press the accelerator either. So
well, this vehicle had two sets of controls. The passenger side had to have a gas and a brake. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ford was working on this for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Than just you know.
Well, Ford, you know, this vehicle, Ford really wants to promote. They want the government's help. So, you know, they wanted Biden to look good. And I read the stats on it. That electric truck, that F-150, can travel, they hope it'll travel 300 miles. And I wonder, is that 300 miles with a bed filled with tools, like a big toolbox in the back loaded with tools and everything? Or is it empty?
It can't be.
Yeah. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. All right, take care. All right, listen, it's 8:30 in the morning. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be right back. I checked the temperature this morning before I left. The high today is going to be almost 90 degrees here in South Florida. The hot weather, it's already here, and it's only going to get hotter. On the line from Cut My Kilowatts, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. He's going to tell you how he can save you big money on your electric bill.
We're facing the onslaught of summer here, and a lot of people are going to be noticing that if they haven't
Jenna, thank you, Jenna, for that $5 super chat. Everyone, thank Jenna.
A lot of times the air conditioner can't even keep up with the heat gain. You know, like you'll have
Steve Kane Show.
temperature set in your house at
Hey, I was going to start, if just jumping into it, talking about Israel a little bit, and then we'll go into it, to the cruise. Okay.
So what we do is cutmykilowatts.com, and we've been doing radiant barrier in South Florida for 10 years. I think we did Steve Kane's house probably 10 years ago when I first started doing this in South Florida. Radiant barrier stops the heat gain in the house, lowers the temperature in the attic 30 to 40 degrees, literally cuts the AC runtime in half, and a lot of money.
Let's explain to people what radiant barrier is. We have known Scott from Cut My Kilowatts for well over a decade. He's with us every summer here on the Steve Kane Show. In the heat of the summer, the attic, how hot does an attic get during the summer, Scott?
It can get, depending on what kind of roof it has, with a shingle or tile, shingle being the hottest, 140, 150, 160 degrees.
Yeah, and what that does is that 150, 160 degree heat in your attic makes your ceiling hot, and of course your air conditioning ducts are in your ceiling. It heats them up, and it makes your air conditioner work longer, harder, causing your electric bill going up, struggling to keep your house cool. So Scott has the radiant barrier. So tell people what radiant barrier is and how it works.
Radiant barrier is like a big aluminum foil tarp that goes on the underside of the roof deck below the trusses, so there's an air gap so it doesn't damage the roof. And it basically just turns the heat wave that comes down off the roof around and pushes it back up out the roof. So it makes your roof function like a white shingle reflective roof. You know, you see those white roofs on people's houses. They put them on because it cuts their electric bill 25-30%. Same thing with radiant barrier. You put it in on the underside of your roof deck. You know, it's like $1 a square foot. And we've even got a special, if you spend 1,000 square feet or more, you get an additional $500 off. So, I mean, hey, it's very reasonable. It's very affordable. This time of year, you know, you're getting it for half price, plus you're getting additional money off. We also do traditional insulation, and we do ductwork. So we can do like the complete job in your attic, whatever you need up in your attic. Insulation, ductwork, you know, radiant barrier. We can do the whole package.
Now listen,
we do that for a lot of people.
It's getting hot today. It's going to be about 88, 89 degrees here in South Florida. We're not in the hottest heat of the summer yet. We will be soon. And because of that, Scott, he's offering a great discount before it gets super, super hot, because as it gets hotter and hotter, it's more difficult for his crew to work in the attic. Now, it's not quite as hot. They can get the work done faster, can spend more time in the attic. I want to give you Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. I'm going to give you his website and his number. If you missed this, it's listed at SteveKaneShow.com. First, you can give Scott a call at 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. Online, cutmykilowatts.com. And again, listed at SteveKaneShow.com. Scott will save you money on your electric bill this and every summer. All right, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, have a great day. We will talk later in the week.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. You know, we were talking earlier in the show, this big blow-up between Bongino and Geraldo last night. Let me just play a clip of it.
You're a cheap shot order. Geraldo, you got to let him have his say. You had your say.
You just want to see the country burn.
Oh,
That's it.
I want to
Every
see the
time.
country burn. You son of a...
Race.
I want to
You're
see the
making a
country
race
burn, you
war out of
punk. You're nothing but a punk.
Yeah.
You're a punk, Bongino. You're a punk.
You wouldn't tell me that to my face.
Okay. And what they were talking about, Bongino and Geraldo, was what's going on right now in Israel. Israel's under attack. And Geraldo was taking the side of Hamas. And he didn't just do it on Hannity last night with Bongino. Geraldo was defending Hamas earlier in the day on Fox News and even blamed Israel for the attacks that Hamas originally launched on them. And a lot of people, everyone knows who Geraldo is, and everyone knows that he's Puerto Rican, but a lot of people I don't think realize that Geraldo is a Jew. And, you know, we talk about this a lot. Why is a Jew defending Hamas? Anyone know? And on the line we have Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. He's our travel agent for the Steve Kane Cruises, but he was also in the Israeli army. You know, why are Jews like Geraldo, Ian, defending Hamas? I don't get it.
Geraldo actually parroted the Hamas narrative. You know, about the
Uh-oh, they're getting to you. We lost you, Ian. See what happens? See what happens when you start speaking the truth? I lost Ian. Oh my goodness, he was just about to reveal why Jews like Geraldo support Hamas, and the line went dead. Oh my goodness. Call back on another line, Ian. That was just getting good. Oh my goodness. Let me text him. I'm by myself here today, so... Oh, here he is. Okay, this is Ian. All right, Ian, we lost you. You were just telling us why Geraldo had the Hamas talking point there. Oh, my goodness. Did we lose our phone lines again? Oh, my goodness. Let me do a reset here. We have lost We are losing our phones again. I'm going to try. I got to do a reset. I'll do it myself here. Hold on. We'll do a reset here. This is not good. This happens sometimes, but usually in the first hour. It doesn't happen in the last hour very often. So let me see if it works now. Oh my goodness. We just lost our phones. We just lost the phones. Oh my god. Well, let me take a quick break. I got to try to fix our phones because we have call-ins here at the end of the show. All right, so bear with me, guys. We'll take a quick look at it and be back, hopefully, with the phones working.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. I have the MyPillow slippers at Mike Lindell. He's right. These are the most comfortable slippers I've ever worn.
I just unplugged it back here.
40% off at MyPillow.com with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. One of our listeners called in on the air and told us about his experience with the MyPillow, My Slippers.
Okay, hold on.
Brian, I have
Let me put a call on the air.
Slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic
No dial tone.
Really?
On
Which
the air.
ones do you have? Which style?
Well, these will answer, but it won't go on the air.
The slip-on fur-lined ones?
Yeah, inside, outside.
No dial
What is
tone.
neuropathy and what are the symptoms?
Well, the nerves in your feet.
Man, I got the gold report and Richard Pearl coming up.
It affects your balance, and it's painful.
I've unplugged it twice.
My Slippers, which by the way, 40% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and
That'll answer.
your neuropathy.
Yes, it is.
Steve Kane Show.
I have to wear slippers.
Hold on. Steve Kane Show.
At home. I can't go barefoot.
Hold on,
or
Rabbi.
socks on.
Steve Kane Show.
So I have
Hold
to
on.
wear that. And
That works, okay? No. I can hear them there, but if I'm going to put a line on the air, there should be a dial tone, right? There's no dial tone.
Oh man, I know they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by
That's
way,
the problem.
Use the promo code KANE and check out 40%
What's the
off
thing
My
back
Pillow
here
slippers,
that you did
30%
before? That
off
doesn't
the
work?
My Pillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free My
Anymore?
Pillows with it, so it's great. Well, that's awesome.
Man, I got the gold report and the other thing. I'm like totally screwed here.
At checkout, KANE at MyPillow.com or call 1-800-716-4879.
Bad time for it to happen.
1-800-716.
In the first hour, it's better than before the call-in commercials and everything. Because I'm going to have to call him and tell him we can't do it.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did.
Okay, let's let it. It's resetting.
Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose and my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes.
It only happens when there's a full damn board of calls, too.
Back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to Any Lab.
Now it's not resetting.
Now I see that. Great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent it.
Okay.
It's worth 15 minutes
try
of your
now.
time to have peace of mind and know that
Nothing.
you and your family are safe. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University
I'll try to
Drive
take
on
one.
the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood.
Hold on.
Near the
I'll
Coral
put
Mall. You can call them at
a dial tone on.
906-5983.
I'll do some dead air when this is done.
954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
All right.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right. Looks like the phones aren't working. I'm going to try a phone call real quick, but I don't think they're working. Good morning. No, they're not working. So, you know what really, this is what really sucks, okay? We're doing live, it's tough. When you're doing a live call-in talk show and the phones aren't, there's a technically the phones aren't working, but this only happens when we have a full board of calls. Had Ian there. Then I had Rabbi David, because I checked during the break, and some other callers all talking about, these events that are going on, and the phones aren't working. So I'll just be here talking to you good people in the audience without calls for the rest of the show, which means I'll have to do the gold report and everything else myself this morning. And Steve's out sitting Shiva over the death of his son-in-law. So it's not that you can't do a show without taking calls. I could do a 6-hour show not taking calls. But there's kind of a head trip that goes on when you can't take calls. You understand what I'm saying? That's when it bugs me. just like you can't. Now, there are some shows that go 3 hours a day without calls. The difference between those shows and this show is we actually get calls and they don't. So anyway, well, we'll have to wait for another day for the big secret from Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot about why liberal Jews support Hamas like Geraldo. But he has interesting insights on that. But we'll get it another day, believe me. They'll be hating on Israel tomorrow too. But one thing I was going to talk to Ian about after we were done with that conversation, I want to share with you. Cruising's starting again in June. Cruising's been shut down because of COVID. The first cruises are heading out of the Bahamas, but there's a race now where will the first U.S. cruise ship leave out of the United States, Florida or Texas? And cruising is starting up this summer, and it's going to be starting up in Florida. And our next Steve Kane cruise is in January. Our Steve Kane 2022 MAGA cruise. We're sailing out of Fort Lauderdale on the newly remodeled and refitted Celebrity Equinox. We took a cruise on the Celebrity Equinox a few cruises back, but since then it's been completely remodeled and refitted. You can go on YouTube and take a look. It's beautiful. You wouldn't even recognize the ship. It's a brand new ship, and it's a 9-day cruise. We leave on a Friday afternoon and come back the following Sunday. So it's 9 days. We're out there, and we're going to Aruba, out of Fort Lauderdale. We're going to Aruba. We're going to the Cayman Islands. We're going to Bonaire and Curacao. And I'm really excited, especially Aruba, because Aruba is like this romantic, like Hawaiian type place, and we're looking forward to that. And the cruising is starting up this summer. When cruising starts up, when the first ship leaves Florida, the first cruise ship, cruises are going to fill up quick, and cruise lines right now are booking it at a reduced capacity, actually half capacity. So, yeah, I know, which means we're going to basically have the whole ship to ourselves when we go, which is awesome. It'll be a Steve Kane ship, not just a Steve Kane cruise. But the remaining cabins will fill up, and will fill up very fast. So you want to call Ian and lock in your reservations. You can call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and join Steve Kane and me on our January cruise, 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. This thing with Geraldo and Bongino, though, what's going to happen with this in the end, I believe, is Geraldo's going to end up quitting Fox News. Bongino's radio show, his nationally syndicated radio show, is about to launch. His first guest is going to be President Trump. They've just given Bongino Gutfeld's time slot on Saturdays. Bongino is going to be the new star of Fox News. He's going to be on all the shows. They're going to be talking about him all the time. Whenever there's an issue, they're going to go to Bongino for his opinion. This is going to drive Geraldo through the roof. All right, Geraldo's not going to be able to handle this, and Geraldo's not going to be able to handle it because Bongino just knows how to push his buttons, and because of that, Geraldo is not going to be able to handle it, and he is eventually going to leave. Geraldo's not going to be able to handle being the punching bag for this new star, Dan Bongino. Geraldo is incredibly jealous of Bongino. He doesn't respect Bongino. He thinks he's better than Bongino. And this is going to end with Geraldo leaving. And Geraldo will go on to be a pundit either at CNN, MSNBC, or Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera, he'd probably fit in the best with the way he's talking, and being a Jew who supports Hamas in this conflict, the left would love him. He's a useful idiot to them, and for the anti-Israeli propaganda. Now, my apologies. I gotta take a break because I gotta do some business here off the air that we're dealing with this technical business. But stick with me. I'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
For your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly
Hey there,
Tire, just
we're having some tech issues with our phones today, so we're gonna. I can't put callers on, so we're gonna have to do our amateur gold report today, but they'll be up working for tomorrow. Okay, appreciate it. All right, thanks a lot. Can you?
already called Pearl.
You called Pearl?
Yeah.
charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net. Hey guys, Brian Craig here. I have the MyPillow slippers at Mike Lindell. He's right. These are the most comfortable slippers I've ever worn. And you can get them for 40% off at MyPillow.com with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. One of our listeners called in on the air and told us about his experience with the MyPillow My Slippers.
Brian, I have the MyPillow slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic slippers.
Really? Which ones do you have? Which style do you have?
The fur-lined one.
Oh, the slip-on fur-lined ones?
Yeah, inside, outside.
What is neuropathy and what are the symptoms?
Well, the nerves in your feet start going bad, and it affects your balance, and it's painful.
So you're wearing the MyPillow My Slippers, which, by the way, 40% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and it's helped with your neuropathy.
Yes, it is. It's much. I have to wear slippers at home. I can't go barefoot or even with socks on.
Wow.
So I have to wear that. And I also have the MyPillow pillow and the MyPillow mattress topper and the.
That mattress topper is unbelievable, isn't it?
Absolutely. My wife loves it.
Oh, man. I know, they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by the way, when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, 40% off the MyPillow slippers, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with it. So it's great. Well, that's awesome. Order your MyPillow My Slippers 40% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, we are back. Yes. And because of our technical glitchiness today, we cannot check in with William Youngerman with this morning's Precious Metals report. So you're going to get the very, very amateur version of it, just because I can't do what he does. But I can tell you what the prices are right now. And right now, gold is down just 55 cents at $18.71 and 43 cents. Wow, that's amazing. Silver up 8 cents at $27.86. Platinum up $4.51. Wow, at $12,005.73. And, you know, William Youngerman, we talk about Father's Day around the corner. He has an incredible collection of watches and jewelry at just basically the metal prices. And these are high-end luxury things over there, all right? He's located in Boca. So, you know what I mean? So people that come in and unload these types of things, these are high-end people with high-end stuff. And it's an incredible selection. But there's more than just jewelry. He has great collectible coins, old money. It's a museum when you go over to William Youngerman's. But if you're looking for a Father's Day gift, either stop into William Youngerman, which is, of course, right here in Boca, at 150 East Palmetto Park Road. That's just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building. The website, williamyoungerman.com, or give them a call. They open at 10 a.m. weekdays, 800-327-5010. 800-327-5010. And to all of you on hold, our full board of calls, you're going to have to talk to me tomorrow, people. You'll have to talk to me tomorrow because the phones are not working. But that's okay. The show must go on, and indeed it will. What's going on right now in Israel, this is god-awful, what's going on in Israel right now. And you see what's going on in Congress. You know, we have very radical anti-Israeli people that have made their ways into very vocal positions in the media, in the Democrat Party, the squad. And you see right now the squad is making a lot of, they're yapping about not giving more military equipment to Israel to replace the weapons that they've used in this conflict. Israel is not our only ally in the Middle East. We've built up other allies over the years, including, as crazy as this sounds, Iraq. But they're our closest ally in the Middle East, and they depend on the United States militarily. And if they don't get their weapons from us, they'll have to find someone else to do it. They need to have it. And, you know, the United States is going to continue to supply Israel. But see, this is the beginning of a crisis in the Middle East. President Trump had resolved the situation in the Middle East pretty much completely. Jared Kushner was like the Bobby Kennedy of the Trump presidency. And they did a great job over there. And people have forgotten what it was like during the Clinton-Arafat days. There was a bombing, it seemed like, every week, sometimes even more. And what the Palestinians did during that time is they upped the number of suicide bombings because they knew the suicide bombings in the news would get Bill Clinton, the Democrats, and the United States at the table to give them concessions. And that's what they're doing now. And when they're talking about a ceasefire, when this immediate conflict is over, and it'll end eventually, it's just a matter of when, I believe we're going to see an increase back into those old days of the Clinton-Arafat years with the, now Israel has much more security now. You know, things are more secure now than they were then, but we're going to see a time where there's going to be an increase in violence that we haven't seen probably since the 90s because they know that the Democrats are not a friend of Israel. These Democrats, including Biden and Kamala Harris, were opposed to moving the embassy. They fought very hard for it, moving the embassy to the Capitol. What Trump did was brilliant. You know, remember when Trump was going to move the embassy, they came to him with a plot to stop it, where they had this plan to build an entirely new building that would take about 8 to 10 years to build, which means after his second term they were planning, and then the next president would stop it. That's what these devious anti-Israeli bureaucrats tried to do, and then Trump got on the phone with the ambassador, and they found just some office building, and they moved in, and that's the embassy now. So it's there, and the Democrats, including the leadership of Biden and Kamala Harris, oppose that. So the Palestinians know that Israel does not have a friend right now in the United States leadership. And they're going to continue to do things to get things from them because they know that Biden and Kamala Harris and the Democrats want to deal with them. And these are the same people working for Biden that worked for Obama on the Iran deal. Okay? And Hamas is a front group for Iran. And they know that they can get another boatload, another plane load, a plane as big as a boat, load of cash money. And that's one of the things they're going for with this. So this is just a terrible time for the entire Middle East, and they keep talking about the children that are getting killed. We're all opposed to that. I'm opposed to anyone getting killed. I'm an anti-war guy. This is terrible what's going on. You know, but you know, Israel was attacked here like we were attacked on 9/11. They were attacked here. Are they supposed to just get hit without any provoking of anything and then immediately call a ceasefire and not take out the people that were responsible for planning the attack on their country? I don't think so. You know, I don't think so at all. And Israel has so much against them. They have the president and vice president against them. The leadership of both houses of Congress, the Democrats, against them. The media are against them. And of course, Geraldo is against them too. You know, but Geraldo's not alone. You know, Geraldo, you know, for as much as of a just not nice person he seems to be, at least he's honest. You know, you watch CNN or MSNBC's coverage of this conflict for a half an hour, and you'll hear them say exactly what Geraldo was saying, word for word, which is the Hamas talking points and the Hamas narrative of everything that's going on over there. So it's an awful situation. Now, Steve will be back with us tomorrow. He's not with us today because of what's been going on, but he'll be back with us tomorrow, and we'll talk more about this with Steve tomorrow as we were planning on doing today. One last thing, though, I just want to mention in passing, there's another scandal that's coming out with Governor Cuomo about his family and COVID testing. you know, all this focus in New York on this witch hunt, pathetic, fake, really it probably illegal criminal investigation in the Trump organization that they're talking about right now, and they completely ignore the crimes of Governor Cuomo there, the crimes that led to the deaths of how many, we don't know. This is all political in New York, okay? No matter what comes out on Cuomo, he's going to be reelected. And you know what? Not only will he be reelected, he's likely to be the next senator after Schumer retires from New York. It could happen. He might even be the Democrat nominee for president down the road with all of this, because Democrats do not care when it comes to their people in scandal. None of these things have tarnished him one bit. And, you know, one of the reasons they're going against the Trump organization in this lawsuit now is a distraction away from that and try to get things away from that. Now, listen, we're all out of time for today, but we'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. My name's Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. And the phones, I promise you, they'll be working then. I'm sure they're already working on it now as we speak. All right, you guys take care. Thanks for tuning in. And again, we'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for listening.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care.
All right, guys. Hey, listen. Thanks for watching. And make sure you like the video before you go, guys. All right? And I'll see you later.